BennyandJohns.com.
I think it just brings back those memories.
Fox News, I'm Sue Gussman. President Trump expected to announce a decision to reduce the impact of tariffs on automakers in Michigan. Fox Business confirming the announcement will come during his trip there today. Liberal Mark Carney projected to remain in power as Canada's prime minister. Well, that election was dominated by President Trump's trade war and his vows to make Canada the U.S.'s 51st state. Thousands of L.A. workers have begun a two-day strike after contract talks broke down.
Quite a few of our members that lost everything in the fires in the Pacific Palisades and Altadena and Sylmar. And so we know about what a tragedy that is. This is a $48 billion budget. I'm not going to use frontline workers. I'm not going to let them be scapegoated.
That's Union Local President David Green. America's listening to Fox News.
What's really going on? Daniel Velos back at it again at Permian Ford Lincoln, your new home of the Big Blue Gorilla. You'll see why whenever you come by. Check it out. Anyway, glad to be back powering B in the Breakfast Club. Also excited to be back here at Permian Ford making all the deals for all of Southeast New Mexico and West Texas that are so outrageous you'll think twice about buying or selling your car anywhere else. Text me today, 575-441-7855. We have a radio discount code, Breakfast Club. That's 575-441-7855. Radio discount code, Breakfast Club. PermianFord.com.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 1,372 head of cattle sold on Monday on a steady to higher market with excellent buyer attendance. Compared to last week, stocker calves sold steady to 8 higher, feeder cattle steady to 5 higher, packer cows and bulls $5 to $10 higher. 3 to 400 pound steers $425, $460. 3 to 400 pound heifers $402, $415. 4 to 500 pound steers $357, $425. 4 to 500 pound heifers $346, $402. 5 to 600 pound steers $355, $357. 5 to 600 pound heifers $298, $346. 6 700 pound steers $312, $355. 6 700 pound heifers $270, $298. 7 800 pound steers $268, $312. 7 800 pound heifers $265, $270. Packer cows $145, $158. Canner and cutter cows $138, $143. Packer bulls $180, $190. Feeder bulls $160, $165. Top half the cow calf pairs $3,000 to $3,500 per pair, and the bred cows not well tested this week. Expecting another good run of cattle for next Monday. Until then, this is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Get ready for smiles at Swift Stop's grand opening in Hobbs. Join the celebration Friday, May 2nd with a ribbon cutting at 9 a.m. Enjoy free hunks of Hunt Brothers pizza while supplies last. Register for a chance to win a 70-inch TV or a Yeti cooler until 3 p.m. Plus, enjoy door prizes all day long. Experience clean, friendly, and satisfying service. Swift Stops, Big Smiles. Your new favorite stop has arrived at 6010 North Lovington Highway in Hobbs. See you Friday, May 2nd at Swift Stop.
If you're a service member, veteran, or family member who's feeling alone,
whether you're in crisis or not,
don't remain silent and suffer alone.
There is help out there.
Talk to someone you can trust.
Free confidential support is available 24/7 through the Veterans Crisis Line. Just text or call 988 and press 1 for veterans. Talking to someone about suicide won't increase the risk of suicide. It could save a life.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Department of Veterans Services, the Department of Health, the NMBA, and this station.
If you, your business, or your organization is needing a venue or facility to host a meeting, convention, party, or other special event, don't cram everyone into your tiny little office. Call the Lee County Event Center. You don't have to fill up the main floor. The Event Center has many other smaller rooms that are perfect for meetings, seminars, parties, and other special events. The Lee County Event Center, seating for 25 or 2,500. 5101 North Lovington Highway in Hobbs. Call 575-391-2100 or visit LeeCountyEvents.com.
You know Benny's Western Store in Artesia is your headquarters for boots, hats, shirts, and jeans. But did you know that Benny's also carries a huge assortment of firearms? Head down to 205 West Main to see the amazing discounts that are available on their firearms and ammo. Benny's also has a huge shipment of jewelry and FR clothing that is priced to sell. New items arriving weekly. You won't find a bigger selection at a better price anywhere. Benny's Western Store, 205 West Main in Artesia, or find them on Facebook.
What is the Safe Haven Law?
In New Mexico, you can bring your infant up to 90 days old to any safe haven site without fear of being criminally charged. This includes hospitals, fire stations, and police departments. Monica Kelsey, founder of Safe Haven Baby Boxes, has worked diligently to provide 3 baby box locations for your convenience. Hobbs's Baby Box is at Fire Station 1, 301 East White Street. Carlsbad's Baby Box is at Fire Department Station 1, 401 South Halegueño Street. Roswell's Baby Box is at their Central Fire Station, 200 South Richardson Avenue. Remember, if you can't make it to one of these Safe Haven Baby Box locations, you can take your infant to any hospital, police department, or fire station. No shame, no blame, and no names. Visit shbb.org for more information.
Southeast New Mexico weather.
The weather forecast down to 85 on this Tuesday. Is temperatures at 83 degrees in the Roswell area with a 20% chance for a thunderstorm. Temperatures in the upper 80s, almost 90 degrees in Carlsbad, Artesia. Well, that triggers a thunderstorm or two at 20%. And in Lovington, 84 degrees with a 30% chance for thunderstorms, some that can produce strong wind gusts. For W105, this is meteorologist Ron Roberts.
Your country plays on W105.
Oh my God!
Have your attention, please.
It's a show with hit written all
Let's go quickly, you're on.
Oh, that sounds great. Hey, yo, stop the show. Don't try to stop me, 'cause I gotta go.
Are you ready? Let's roll.
Where to go? Green tide, where to go?
Your morning show powered by your Ford dealer. Be in the Breakfast Club being powered by Permian Ford. Broadcasting from the Inn of the Mountain God studio. The question of the day brought to you by Lovington Auto Supply with the largest selection of parts for heavy trucks and semis. Call or text now. 877-396-W105 to talk to us. Text line brought to you by Amigo Machinery, your Kubota dealer.
Move it, move it, move it.
Call or text now. 877-396-W105 to talk to us.
Why are you up so early?
Don't you remember what today is?
Not really.
Here's a hint. I like zippers.
National Zipper Day.
Whatever happened to zippers? I miss zippers.
That's right. National Zipper Day.
Got anything against zippers?
Zip it. Zip me.
Zip it good.
Can you zip me up?
I'm Zippy Longstocking.
Zippers where zippers shouldn't be.
Let's get out there and get zipping.
It's showtime.
It is another day in paradise. Monica, I need you to come up with a question of the day and send it because I was just like, it's been a hell of a morning.
Sure.
Nothing wanted to work. And I was cussing. I almost say it was so bad that I couldn't figure out what was going on.
I got a question.
It was I almost called Tom A. That's how bad it was.
Actually, back up. I can only help Did my you already back come up. up with one?
Yeah,
But
I can send her
my wife
whatever you have.
ran and bought me a hotspot with a different carrier because the internet at the hotel just didn't seem to want to work, and now it's working. So maybe they were restarting. I don't know, but God bless. Everything is good. We are not on I am not on cameras this morning. I am sitting here in my underwear with no shirt on because I turned the air condition off. So you didn't want to see that 66-year-old man almost naked. I'm just saying you probably didn't want to see it. It's okay. Yeah.
In his gutties.
Are they tidy whities or are they boxers?
No. I'm going strictly commando and a pair of gym shorts.
A la máquina. Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
So here's the question.
It's hot.
I kind of came up with this question, gave it to Monica while we were discussing this. You know, they just announced who the inductees for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame are this year. It's Bad Company, Chubby Checker, Cyndi Lauper, Joe Cocker, Outkast, Soundgarden, and the White Stripes. So the question of the day is, should those bands be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Not Outkast.
Or if you want to introduce a band to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because as we know, they always don't introduce, rock bands. I mean, isn't Beyonce in the?
Yes.
Is she in there yet?
Yes.
ABBA.
It's not that those aren't good bands. It's they're not
No,
rock and roll.
it's just not rock and roll. It's just, would you put Bad Company and the R&B Hall of Fame? It's the same thing.
Right.
Same thing. Of course you wouldn't put Bad Company in the R&B Hall of Fame because they're not R&B. So send the question. We'll get it up on Facebook. I am broadcasting this morning from Dumaguete, Philippines. I'm off tomorrow. Be back on Thursday in the home studio, and my life becomes much like it was before. My life. I get my life back. A lot of money been spent.
Leave tomorrow?
My son leaves the next morning, so it'll be our last day together. So we're in the same place that we always come to. Nice, clean apartment. And my son goes, "I can't believe you stay here." I was like, "Ain't nothing the matter with this place. It's clean. It's nice. It's got 2 bedrooms. It cost us $40 a night. Ain't nothing wrong. Man, you forgot where you used to live."
Right.
I'm just saying. Your mama had you living in some ghetto places. So this ain't even this is nice and clean. I ain't got no problem with it. I'm right outside the swimming pool if I want to go swimming during a break. So yeah.
So your son's
Sometimes
a bit of a
material-
diva.
Well, material things. I think he's in that Lululemon.
Right.
Everything's got to be this and that. And I'm just like, dude, you forgot where you came from.
You ain't even
That's
paid
for
for
damn
it.
sure.
Yeah, so.
No, not paying for it. I said, look, if you want to get another hotel, you can go ahead and get it done. Yeah. Because I didn't spend a buttload of money.
I think you and I discussed this. I think a lot of the younger folks are way materialistic.
I agree.
Like, I remember brands were a big thing when I was growing up a little bit, but it wasn't a big deal if it wasn't name brand. Nowadays,
I mean, when Adidas first came out, I needed to have those sneakers. But other than that, nowadays, you know what all that matters to me? That if it feels good. That's
So what?
When it comes
I had to pay less
buying a pair of shoes or buying a pair of shorts, I don't care as long as it feels good.
Not to
That's
get
it.
too off topic. We can end that conversation right after this. But what were the major brands when y'all were young, in y'all's teens?
Well,
early 20s?
I mean, look, we had the
Levi's.
BB jeans. I mean, Levi's.
Converse?
Oh yeah.
Converse?
Converse was
Vans.
huge.
Vans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't until many years
Avaya.
later that Nike took control of the market.
Right.
Thank Michael Jordan.
Sad
for that.
day.
Yeah.
Avaya
Yeah,
made soccer
sad day
shoes.
that they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Nike is not what we want. I'm just saying it really isn't.
There was a brand of shoes that was actually pretty big when I was in high school. It's called Kepa.
Kepa.
They make
I don't
tennis.
remember
They
those.
make tennis shoes, and at
Yeah.
least in our area, that was kind of a big deal.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
like
remember.
they're
I don't
to play
remember that.
tennis in. They were tennis court shoes, Kepas.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Is that the one you use on sailboats?
Today,
No, those are
what?
Docksiders. or
Tom,
top,
you got your
Topsiders.
shoes from Payless.
Pro
didn't you?
Wings, baby. That's why I bought
Pro
stock in
Wings.
it.
Yeah, Pro Wings. Yeah. I am a happy and content person with, if I have very, very little, I am happy and content as long as I have. This is my two
DoorDash.
needs: air condition, internet. Air condition, internet, cleanliness,
Is next to God.
and I need other things, but I mean, in a hotel or a place to live, that's what I'm looking for. So that's pretty much it. Today is International Dance Day, National Peace Rose Day, Shrimp Scampi Day, Jump the World Day, World Wish Day, Zipper Day going on. Tom, you always have a problem forgetting the zipper. Sometimes I have to remind you when we're out in public that the little train is getting ready to leave the tracks.
No zippers on my sweat.
Choo. Oh, so you don't have to remember
I got sweats today, but
to zipper up.
yeah.
He's wearing
Choo,
sweats today.
choo.
Although yesterday he
Yeah.
did have on shorts that were extremely large on him. Were those your
large?
shorts?
I think I've lost weight a lot.
Yeah, they were
No,
falling
no.
off of him.
Oh, I mean, it's that A1C.
Yeah.
I mean, it's causing the weight loss. But the
Well,
scale
there
is
is a
evidently
scale
lying
right
There is a
because
scale.
yeah. I mean, so don't even guess about it. You can just step on the scale and get her done.
And we didn't even hide.
looks
It's
like
not
you-
even hiding under the thing anymore. It's over here,
I mean,
right
you-
next to
you
the blue chair.
Jump on it and get her done. Looks like Human Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. urging Americans to dispose of all their prescription medicine properly, reminding people not to flush it down the toilet.
Right.
And look, the economy with Joe Biden went down the toilet. We're trying to scramble out of that. But Tom, why is it important that we don't flush medicine down the toilet?
Oh, because that water goes back into the sewage, and the sewage is in some places it's recycled, and you don't want that stuff.
No, it's kind of, sort of, but
It ends up in the food supply.
Yeah.
that's the reason. So, yeah, we don't need that. Senator Bernie Sanders denied that he and the squad representative AOC are looking to form a brand new political party. Said it is not so. Kind of makes sense that AOC qualified to serve drinks, and I think the keg party for AOC. I think that would be an appropriate name if she was going to have a party. Keg party would be the official party. I think that would be awesome. The keg party. AOC would be number one.
I hate to say it, but if you announce the keg party, you're going to have about 1 million folks probably sign up right away,
Oh, I'm sure.
no matter who they are.
Yep, no doubt. All right, we'll check the weather coming up in just a second. Text line 877-396-W105. Morning show this morning being brought to you by State Representative District 61, Randy Pettigrew, reminding you that the governor continues to attack our way of life. You got on one thing, the governor will be attacking us again coming up soon with a special session. Wait for it. She's trying to take your guns away. No doubt about that. And she's trying to do everything against the Trump administration. You need a conservative, a constitutional conservative. That is Randy Pettigrew. Find out more information, randallpettigrew.com for more information. Weather today, high 87, sunny skies today. Severe thunderstorms tonight. Overnight low tonight, 54. 76 coming up tomorrow. Looks like mostly sunny skies are expected for southeast New Mexico. Windy conditions for Ruidoso. High temperature getting up to about 66 today, and we're expecting 25-mile-an-hour winds. Clear tonight, down about 39, and 64 and sunny tomorrow. And in Albuquerque, sunny skies 73, 20% chance of rain coming up tonight, and sunny skies 77 coming up tomorrow. Quick look at the weather being brought to you by Maine Trailer Sales. Don't go camping without Maine Trailer Sales, serving all of southeast New Mexico. Largest inventory of new and pre-owned RVs. Durango Pass.
Uh-oh.
Are you coming back?
All right, let's read some of the text while we're waiting on him.
Go
Because
ahead.
somehow we switched
Go
over
ahead.
to brand names. In the 80s, Ocean Pacific or OP. Another one said, how about PF Flyers?
Aw.
can't log into
Okay. And
Um,
on the question of the day, the only band close enough to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was White Stripes, and that's a stretch, says this one texter. Monica?
Chubby Checker should have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of
So,
Fame a long.
I guess they're saying
Hey.
it's a week Hall of Fame.
Rare week.
Okay, so
I'm
we
doing something behind the scenes.
okay, we just got you back. So
All right. So I turned off one of the connections.
okay,
So we'll see if that helps. I'm praying. I'm hoping. It's been a hell of a day. All right, Tom, continue.
All right, so why does Iron Maiden continue to get snubbed from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This one texted.
Amen.
Who's
Never-
that?
Iron Maiden.
Run to the hills.
Yeah, they should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They're true rock and roll.
Yes.
Big
Definitely.
Jer says, thank goodness for camera off buttons. And Jody said, wow, B, what a great visual for us to start our day with. You
Well,
sitting.
look, you want honesty. You want honesty. I'm giving you honesty.
And these two are for Tom. Tom forgets to zip up his zipper because he hasn't been able to see his train in years. And Tom's been taking Gymnasium. What is that? What is that?
That's nasty.
What is it?
I don't know, but it sounds nasty. I've never heard of that before.
Is it a medicine? Jim.
It doesn't sound real, but I can't figure it out.
Nasty.
It's probably nasty.
That what you're saying just sounds. Yep.
Hopefully,
we don't know.
Hopefully,
We're too
you're getting
naive.
that hot spot. So there you go. Tom?
Let me reconnect.
All right.
All right. On the diabetic
So
topic
you
last
continue
week.
reading the text.
Okay. On the diabetic topic last week. Excuse me. On the diabetic topic last week. 6 months ago, I was diagnosed A1C 9.6. This person said I was diagnosed at 9.6 6 months ago. I've lost 25 pounds and my A1C is 4.9. Come on, Tom, you can get on board.
Right.
I'm at 7.1.
So let me ask you, so if your weight goes up, do you think your A1C goes down? Do you think it's scientifically possible that if you gain 10 pounds, your A1C goes down?
Well, my body is unique unto others.
Oh, we know it's very unique. We've never seen a Paris body like yours.
Yes. And my body's not like anybody else's health-wise.
Oh, we understand that. No doubt. We understand that.
You know, I guess who I spoke to last night? Chrissy, our health correspondent.
Oh, sweet. How's Chrissy?
And she said Paris body.
And so we were talking about some issues.
Like a pear.
And she said, oh, that's great. That 7.1 is great. I said, yeah.
She did not say that was great.
She
Chrissy,
dang
if you're
sure was.
listening, tell us if you said that.
She was on the potty when I was talking to her.
She said you're full of poop.
Well, she
is
was
what she
pooping.
said. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. No doubt. Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Number of babies born in 2024. How many babies do you think were born in 2024? Do you think it's more than 2023?
I think it's less, to say the truth. I say less.
3.6 million, and that's actually 1% more than 2023. Now, let me just tell you, when I talk about native-born babies, I'm talking about to citizens of the United States.
Right.
That's way down. Without the foreign babies, man, we would be in bad shape. That's why Donald Trump is saying we need some type of incentive, and I don't know if I agree with this, to make people have babies. I'm thinking it's a bad idea. There goes that frog again.
Well, okay. I think that just putting a number on anyone having a baby is wrong. Now, if you say I will pay married couples who have been married for so long or whatever to have a baby and to create and populate,
But where the problem would lie with that.
Paying anyone to have a child? No. No, it's just no.
I just don't. Yeah, I just don't know if I can get on board.
because
with
it's kind of like, who do you want to have the babies? Do you want these single
Well,
moms
let
to
me
keep
just
having
say this,
babies, or do you
and-
want
and-
married
and-
couples having babies?
Yeah, I don't want it to be their income.
You know a lot of people, Monica, that would just run out and say, "Okay, 4,000 per baby."
Right.
Absolutely.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, there'd be some booming in the rooming.
A
Yeah,
lot
but
of
these
That's
are the
for sure.
same. But and this goes hand in hand with a lot of other stuff in this state. This state doesn't care anything about life.
Sure.
Not anything.
That's right.
So here's $5,000 to have a baby. Whatever you do, we don't care.
Yeah, I think it's a. I think it's a bad
and you
thing.
can't have all of that together.
Yeah.
And I
No.
just
Well,
I just think it's a bad idea if you're going to pay
it's like
someone
when
to have a
we
baby.
incentivize immigration. It's the same thing. It's not a good deal. Looks like 1/3 of Joann's stores are closing. The rest of the fabric and craft retailers are expected to close next month. But next month, by the way, starting on Thursday, those start shutting all of those down. So Joann's will be a thing of the past. 6 homes destroyed, 2 firefighters injured in Grants. The fire in Grants destroyed 6 homes, 2 firefighters injured. And the fire chief in Grants said they believe it started with a brush fire that happened Sunday. And lack of lighting, and it was very suspicious fire. Arson is very hard to prove, they said, but they're not counting that out for sure. And Blake, we hear a lot of things about Trump is doing it bad and tariffs don't work, but here we go. Big company. IBM is an American company that left America. You know why they left America, Tom?
Union.
You know why they left America?
Union.
Well,
It was
they
cheaper to
couldn't
do
compete. It
business.
was, yeah. And so, but they're announcing they're going to invest $150 billion for U.S. manufacturing. So they're going to build a plant and look, this is a global leading company in computing and was American company, and they're going to invest $150 billion for computers and to build the factories and hire people. And I'll say it again, one thing that needs to happen is Americans need to get up and go to work. I think that's very, very important that Americans get out there and get busy and go to work. Without that, this plan will never, ever, ever work. It's not going to work. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Finn's Country Market. Find and build a burger sale going on right now. The 73% lean ground beef, $3.29 a pound. Sirloin cut pork chops, $1.49 a pound. Also the chicken breast, skinless, boneless, $2.77 a pound. Boneless beef arm steak, $3.99 a pound. Get your produce. Premium hothouse tomatoes, $1.49 a pound. Leafy lettuce, 99 cents each. Get the Vidalia onions, the yellow onions. They're sweet at 99 cents a pound. Mangoes are 99 cents a pound. And, of course, deli department, get the split top honey wheat bread for just $1.68. Also, get the Black Forest ham for $4.99 a pound and the chicken breast for $7.49 a pound. Find it all at Finn's. If you're looking for refreshments, they've got you covered with refreshments also. Look for Dr. Pepper and Pepsi and Mountain Dew and others. 24-pack for $10.99. Check them out today at Finn's. Text line 877-396-W105.
Cackle Hater is chiming in. I know, have the Moody Blues been voted into the R&R Hall of Fame yet? I know there's some concern about it for a long time. Even Rush Limbaugh was very local about this, says Cackle Hater. Have they been voted in?
Let me look at the list. I don't know off the top of my head.
And into the R&B Hall of Fame or the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They were asking. And Brian says instead of $5,000 for having a baby, they should heavily discount that darn medical bill for having that baby. Doing that would discourage those just looking for money and would really help families try to have babies.
That's logical.
What did we say is the amount of people in New Mexico that have babies and the government picks up the tab on Medicaid? Did we say 61%?
Yeah. That's kind of like creating a puppy mill for babies. says
Amen.
a texter.
That's exactly right.
And you guys take it easy on Tom on his A1C. He's probably going to use Plan B, like like his weight loss. People who think
What
that,
would be Plan B?
like the Plan B pill, like the morning
day-
after
the
pill,
morning
the day
after.
after.
Gotcha.
And
I'm still
people
going
who
down the
think
list.
bad companies shouldn't be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame
They're
have
idiots.
obviously never listened to bad
Oh, I
company
love
songs.
some bad company.
I will agree. I will agree with that one. Steppenwolf should have been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame years ago.
Moody Blues were
Amen.
inducted in 2018.
And did you
Along
see
with Dire
this
Straits,
billboard in Albuquerque put up by our Secretary of State? I hope our tax dollars didn't pay for it. And the thing says, President Trump, go back to where you came from. Fuera Trump. And that was paid for by Maggie
Toulouse.
Oliver.
Toulouse Oliver?
Mm-hmm.
How can Maggie Toulouse Oliver, is that state money?
That's a good question.
Gotta be, bro.
That's crazy. That's nuts. That's nuts.
And
All right, one more, Tom.
All right, this texter, Cool Hand Lynn, says, be fruitful and multiply.
Amen.
However, paying for babies to be born falls in the forbidden fruit category, says Brian this morning. I mean, Cool Hand Lynn.
And for those texts that text in about KWES 93.5 in Ruidoso this morning, we are having connection issues. Windstream went down, and we haven't been able to get it back up. Will and I are both trying to get it going. Will, obviously, the most important part of that, the technical aspect of it.
If Tom would have read that message and used the word having problems and we can't get it up, we would probably poke fun at him, but because it's you, Blake, we'll let it pass.
True. I like what Rocket said. We'll end with this one. Monica, good morning, Rocket. Trump did go back to where he came from, and that's the White House. Y'all, there's a new ball
But
cap.
we don't need the state paying for this, and the state shouldn't pay for that. Now, if Maggie wants to take her state salary and pay for that, or take it out of her re-election campaign.
Somebody else put it up.
Where is that? Let me go look at it real quick. It's MaggieToulouseOliver.com is who they say do it. And I don't know if that's coming out of her campaign chest or what, because she can't run again.
No,
this
she's
time.
termed out already.
But is she gearing up for something else?
And she's probably got a buttload of money, and you got to spend it. So, as a state that's last in everything in New Mexico, should we be poking the bear?
Right.
I say no. I say no.
I say no.
You were
All
saying
right, 6:33.
Monica was going to say she was reading a book.
No. So, Donald Trump released a ball cap through like his online store, and it just simply has the numbers 2028 on it. And it's beautiful. And it's, of course, causing an uproar with the Democrats. And like,
he's trolling them.
Yes. God, he loves to mess with them. And I'm thinking, I want that ball cap. I'd like to piss some people off around here.
Not around here, but
Not
if you
around
wear,
here,
if you wear
but
it somewhere
yeah,
else,
yeah,
you might get attacked.
It's lovely. I just wanted to see if you guys had seen it.
I haven't. No.
I saw it already.
I have no problem with trolling the Democrats, especially nowadays, because they get so and I don't know if you noticed who the spokesperson now for the Democratic Party. The governor of Illinois, Pritzker, is the guy that has been talking the most crap in the last couple days. He's the guy. Old sausage fingers.
Oh man, that dude.
I bet his A1C is about.
They're just plucking at
where
straws.
Tom's is.
He makes Chris Christie look like he has anorexia.
Yeah, no.
Tom.
All right. Mike from Edgewood. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Volume up to 100 and still having problems hearing you guys on Rumble and Facebook. Have to listen, he says, on the terrestrial radio.
Or do it on the app. Go to
do it on the app.
w105radio.com and download the app, and you can do it on any device you're on.
Yeah, and we'll definitely check on that.
Good
for
morning,
sure.
you guys. And
All right,
Monica-
let me get to.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Smokey just wants to say, B, I know you are enjoying your son being there visiting.
Pain in my ass. No, I'm having a good time.
B?
Monica, you get the pictures I sent you?
I did. They're beautiful. How did you guys get that to look like that? Like, how did you guys get the like it
The
looks
raft?
like, yeah, like it looks like the camera was like flying towards you guys, and then I guess your stepson
Dude,
caught it.
The guy swings on a limb with your camera, and then twists the camera, and you know how it spins in the beginning? And then swings on the limb, and then goes back out and zooms out, and then goes in. Yeah, I mean, and all of that for $1.
Oh
Really?
my gosh!
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't too.
Pretty crazy.
When he took a picture of it, he wasn't too favorable with Kyle's girlfriend. She looked frumpy.
Tom.
That's a hell of a thing to say,
Wow, she
Tom.
looked frumpy.
I didn't think she looked frumpy. I think they all look dang good.
She looked
They all
frumpy.
look great.
She looks very, very good. She looks better than any woman you've ever had.
Wow, she looked a little
And
frumpy,
I
that's all.
will say
How
that
do you
with
think
confidence.
she looks frumpy
She
in that?
doesn't. Tom just doesn't know. What
I just
to
showed
say.
the video again. How do you think she looks frumpy?
Well, her swimsuit's a little frumpy to me.
You mean to tell me in
out
all
of what is that? 3 seconds?
you?
You're zooming in
You must
on
have
one.
looked at a different picture.
She's a frump.
You know that girl that I ran into at Holidays on Friday night, that Patty Westbrook girl that I was telling you, woman. If you're listening this
Mhm.
morning, good morning, Patty. But that's what she said. She said, "What a life, huh?" She goes, "That B's living over there in the Philippines," and I said, "Oh yeah, he's living like a king over there." She said, "I'd love to be on the water like that." So we
You know what? You know what's amazing? The people that come to an island without a cough, and if they had a cough, they would do something about the cough, like gargle, take some medicine, they would do all that. But these people come with one backpack, and they're backpackers. That's all they take. And I
Really?
talked to somebody, and their little cabana had no air conditioning. And I was like, oh, no, I can't do that.
Right.
Mm-mm. But look, Europeans know how to take vacations. They take a month off, and they go to somewhere in Southeast.
We're losing you again.
Yeah, they take what, month-long siestas?
No, they take. He's talking about Europeans go on vacation, and they go to wherever it is they go, where the South America, Southeast Asia, or they're in Europe on the Mediterranean. Are you back? He's trying. I heard it.
They ain't coming here, that's for sure.
I barely hear you.
He's having connection problems.
He is having connection problems. It's a connection problem morning here.
All right, let's go back to text right quick. Hey, Rocky said, Monica, Cloudcroft High School has a graduation rate of 97%. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got that in the news this morning. So
And they're already, and then it goes on to say they're the only public school in the top 10 in New Mexico. There are other 9 are in private schools.
That is
no,
incredible.
that's not true. They are either charter or magnet schools.
Is that they are? Okay.
And Jody from Lovington sent a picture of his ball cat, ball cap. And he says, Monica, this is my new hat. That's cute. I like that. I really do. We need Starlink for the station, says Gary from the pet.
With as much data as we do, I don't know if that would work or not, but yeah.
Monica, will you put a plastic bag over Tom's head until he stops coughing? Well, I think we might have to because I've already given him.
He's trying to come back.
You're trying. You're not there, but you're trying, B. This is what happens.
help but laugh.
This is what happens when the robots take over.
Right. I was looking at a story this morning on Fox that talked about AI.
Not quite, Kevin. Keep trying.
Did you see that, Monica?
No.
That people are fearful that they're going to take over human jobs eventually.
Oh, AI? Yeah. I mean, they've been saying that for a long time. And
Elon,
eventually.
Elon Musk said it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's possible, though. Elmo Romero is chiming in. He's underwater over there.
Whoever sent this in is exactly right. B sounds like Stephen Hawking.
Yes.
Jimmy Burnside said B never sounded better.
Elmo Romero says, I think a few countries in Asia are currently experiencing very low birth rates. That says Elmore from Carlsbad this morning.
Kevin's doing it on the fly. In a minute, he'll come back, I'm sure. But right now, we're going to keep on.
I believe a big issue nowadays is that kids are having kids. No more adulthood, bringing up children, no values or morals. That's why every new upcoming generation just gets slides. Amen, Jay and Carlsbad.
You know, I would agree with that to a point, right? There's a lot of people who are still raising their kids right. And whether they're young folks like it always has been, or whether they're a little older. And right now we're getting a lot of grandparents who are having to raise kids.
Yep, they are.
Did you almost come back, Kevin? He was a minute ago. No, I don't hear him.
You know, the day AI can pick up a wrench and fix a bulldozer will be the day I laugh out loud, says the texter.
Well, I mean, they can pick up a wrench right now, and technically, if they have diagnosed a problem, they might be able to fix it.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, there he is.
God almighty. They're going to give me a heart attack before the day's over.
Let me tell you what, your texters are coming through saving you by sending us text.
Good.
877-396-9105.
I need you guys.
9105.
All right, let me do the thought for the day, being brought to you by Wakefield Oil, 35 years serving Southeast New Mexico. Quality products, excellent service, dependable, boom or bust. Go to Wakefield Oil. Give them a call this morning, 575-622-4160. And just go to wakefieldOil.com. They operate in Southeast New Mexico, parts of West Texas. So if you need oil and gas products, wakefieldOil.com for more information. According to a brand new study, 43% of parents say their best bonding moments with their kids is when school shopping. Bonding moments?
Really?
I can remember doing that with my kids and almost killing them.
Right.
So
it's bonding.
No, that is not a bonding moment for school. That wasn't my original thought for the day, but I got lost after having to wait. So we'll go back to the text coming up in a second. Did you guys see the House pass the bill to take down act criminalizing posting of non-consensual sexual explicit photos? So do you understand what that means?
Yeah.
So if I guess that means no in Swahili or something. But what it means, if somebody has a video of you and it's non-consensual that they film the video of you in a sexual act and you post that up, they'll have to take it down.
Will they owe you for it monetarily?
I don't think so. But Bill Cassidy and Melania Trump was big into this. So if there are videos of you or photos of you and somebody shares that on social media or on some, some website out there, you can actually get them to take that video down. Before now, it would be very hard for them to take that video down. So they're not taking it down. So, of course, it still has to pass the Senate, but did pass the House. Gabe Vasquez I'm going to talk about Gabe coming up. Did you hear the latest video with Gabe Vasquez?
No.
No.
Yes.
Man, Gabe Vasquez is,
Unhinged.
he doesn't care.
He's unhinged.
Very, very, very unhinged. Very unhinged. All right, let's get to the tweet of the day this morning, being brought to you by Atlas Makeup Mirror. Atlas Makeup Mirror times 1 times 5 times 10 magnification, bright LED lights, travels easy. Comes in a travel case, weighs less than 4 pounds, 575-631-3189. Call Rebecca Long today, and she is offering right now a super, super special 25% off. Blake, how did they obtain that 25% off?
It's super easy. You only need the code W105. 25% off. And remember, guys, it's only 12 days till Mother's Day.
So go check out the pocket mirror.
But in addition to that, the small pocket mirror that you're getting ready to talk about, $29. The large one, $39. 25% off the regular patented, whether you want the wall mount or travel or whatever, code W105 gets you 25% off.
And you will find nothing like the quality. You won't find it anywhere else. So go check it out today. All right, Bernie Sanders. People going to a Bernie Sanders rally, but they really don't know why they are at the rally. They completely lost. Cut number 1, Blake, if you would.
Are you out here today to the Bernie Sanders rally?
I don't like what's going on in our country right now. I'm just kind of disgusted by it.
What's the biggest risk?
Oh, gosh. What would you say, Dan? Well, I'll let you speak to that.
I don't know. I don't really care for the language that's being spoken right now in the country.
Can you give any examples of specific language?
English? They're plugging it
Let me think about that.
So many things, I don't even know where to start. I would say, oh gosh, Dan, help. This is...
What's changed over the last couple months post-Biden administration for you guys?
Oh gosh. Once again, where do we start? You want to? Okay, you go for this one.
Start with somebody else.
So it's like talking to Tom. They have no idea why they hate Donald Trump.
Correct.
Right.
They have no idea why they hate him, but they still hate him, damn it. Yeah, they don't like him one darn bit. Crazy. Yesterday in Canada, it looks like the Liberals are projected to be the winner, and Mark Carney will retain leadership in Canada. We knew that was coming. Yeah. Canada is not a conservative country.
No.
So we knew that was coming.
No.
And a woman arrested for allegedly making a bomb threat that forced the evacuation of Ruidoso High. You know what's even worse? This woman's 32 years old.
Oh, my goodness.
So the woman has been arrested in connection with that bomb threat that evacuated Ruidoso High School last month. And Margaret Cueto Mescalera has been arrested. So bomb threat happened on March 4th. Ruidoso High School immediately went into lockdown and evacuated to the Ruidoso Convention Center. By the way, they determined that was a hoax, and they made the arrest.
Good.
It's pretty sad that the age of somebody doing that. Crazy.
Hey,
And,
before you go on, we were talking about Gabe Vasquez. Do you want to play him, or was that a tease for when we are going to play him?
Yeah, no, I got the story. I was gonna come back to it.
Okay,
I will go cut number 2 next, which was Stansbury.
Okay.
2A.
Okay.
Stansbury. Roswell man sentenced for involuntary manslaughter. Looks like sentenced on Monday. 2018 killing of another man. Alfonso Reyes Vasquez Jr. was sentenced 10 years in prison for pleading guilty to manslaughter. So 10 years, is that enough?
No.
And why do you think he killed the other man?
No sé.
Disrespecting his girlfriend.
Oh.
That's why. Disrespecting his girlfriend. Wow. Man sentenced to over 390 years in jail. Look, this is what we need. So the judge out of Otero County says this man is guilty of multiple sex crimes in Otero County, and they're sending him away for 391 years.
I love it.
391 years, according to the 12th Judicial District Attorney's Office. And he was previously reported in February, and they found Ryan Reese of Alamogordo guilty of 18 counts of criminal sexual penetration of a minor under the age of 13, 7 counts of criminal contact, sexual contact, and 6 counts of incest. And the DA in Alamogordo was the one that was the driving force. And just to note, one of the minors in this whole thing was 5.5 years of age.
Oh, man.
And he continued to sexually abuse her until she was 11 years of age. So this guy is going away for 390 years. Good riddance. Please don't ever let him out. All right, we're going to talk about married couples. Tom, I want you to start thinking about married couples. What is the one of the most important things that a married couple has to do to stay together? Start thinking about that. We'll go to you coming up in just a second. Morning Show being brought to you by Rig Outfitters and the home store. Find them in the Broadmoor Mall. Extensive collection of FR jeans, coveralls, gloves, shirts, and more. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. They offer zero down financing on all of that. Don't forget they have boots for $99. They have a section of boots for $99. Go to the website, rigoutfitters.com. They're also on social media. And, of course, you can find them in the Broadmoor Mall right next to Scrub Outfitters. Scrub Outfitters has the largest selection of medical scrubs, Dickies, Healing Hands, Mecatures, Peaches, and others. Plus, they have compression socks, medical equipment, comfy shoes, and more. Follow them on Facebook. Do a search for, of course, Scrub Outfitters. You'll find them on Facebook, and you'll also find them in the Broadmoor Mall right next to Rig Outfitters. Tom and the text. We'll talk about Gabe Vasquez up next.
Smokey in Arizona says, you know what? Forget giving that POS 390 years. Just put a bullet in his head and be done with him. I agree with that. And this texter says, I don't trust AI. Does the name Cyberdyne Systems Inc. and Skynet mean anything to you guys?
Yes.
Well, let's just ask another question. Would AI be better than Tom hacking in the mic?
Yeah.
I think if you put the AI cough in them, they'll cough.
They won't have a cough.
Yeah, we leave that out. We definitely leave it out.
But you got to have personality in them.
This texter sent in a text and said, dead pedophiles don't reoffend.
Mm-hmm.
And
no
if you
doubt.
don't, sure. And if you don't raise your kids, you will raise your grandchildren. Those are facts. Proven.
And the best bonding moment with your kid is when school starts, and then you kick them out the door, says the texter.
That editor chick said, married couples, they have to actually like each other. Amen. And so many people complain about their spouse and truly just don't like each other. That is absolute truth.
I've never understood that.
Correct. Me either. The best
We're going to go to that coming up in a second. Tom,
I'm
sure will have it.
Tom, you pissed some people off on the text line by calling B's daughter-in-law frumpy.
Frumpy?
Yeah, there's one guy that said, Tom is the only guy that I know that can call somebody else's woman or wife clunky and get away with it. Shaking my head. You need to go buy a lottery ticket, son.
Look, them boys put stickers in my rear when I was taking care of them.
Stickers in your rear?
That didn't sound right. They put stickers in your chair and told you to sit down.
B was.
And the video was funny.
What does that have to do with
He's still mad at them.
calling someone
He's still mad at them.
I get a chance to get back at it. How about that?
You're still mad Do you have a resentment from when they were little boys?
Oh, he harbors grudges forever.
Oh my god!
Like, and it'll be over the stupidest thing, and he will hold on to it forever.
Yes.
And there's nothing you can do to overcome that.
So are you mad at me because I ate
Yes.
that
Tell you what,
Snickers when we
he
went to go
is.
eat?
Yes.
You're mad at me for that?
And,
Snickers?
he will never get over it, and it will be
She's
forever.
from the west. She's from the west side
West
of
side?
Lubbock. She will shank you.
Uh-oh.
The best bonding moment with your kids is when school starts and you kick them out the door, says this texter. Hey, that's
Get
not
them,
nice.
get them out.
There's a guy.
All right, Tom. Blake, we're going to do Melanie Stansberry. Then we'll get the Gabe Vasquez. Then we'll talk about the keys to a happy relationship. Tom, you ready to do the price of oil? Being brought to you by Spinnaker Cementing Solutions, division of Cud Energy Services. Find them in Hobbs on Magnum Industrial Road. Also go to SpinnakerOil.com. Look, they deal with the largest drilling programs. They've got 25 crews in New Mexico, Texas, and in Oklahoma. 200 experienced cementing professionals. Find them today at SpinnakerOil.com.
West Texas Intermediate, $60.99. Brent crude at $64.97. And the price of natural gas is $2.90. B.
How proud of you of our folks that represent us, like Melanie Stansberry. How proud of you. Blake, cut number 2A.
And now they're talking about giving people money to have more babies while they're tanking the economy. How about you just fix the economy, or, work on a living wage, or make it more affordable? How about deal with housing or the cost of groceries, or free healthcare, or free childcare, or like any of the things that our communities need, or protect education, not dismantle it. So it's a very strange time. We're all doing our best to stay resilient, to stay strong, and to stay sane during these unusual times.
I'm just wondering why the Democrats didn't do that, when Joe Biden was in office. I'm just still trying to figure this out.
Good question.
They had a chance to flip the economy. They had a chance to fix the border.
Yep.
They did nothing.
Right.
Except make it worse.
Sure.
Just make it worse.
The way she says it, why don't you just fix the economy? Like it's, you just flip a switch.
Sure.
When your guy, Joe Biden, spent 4 years destroying the economy. And, by the way, Melanie Stansberry, you were in Congress and you did it.
Correct.
Yeah, she signed off on all those bills, no doubt. All right, Gabe Vasquez. Gabe Vasquez, kind of sketchy, declared war on Donald Trump. He was doing a town hall. You know what needs to happen?
What?
You see all the Republicans at the town halls, and there are all these operatives there. We need to flood the town halls in New Mexico. We need to go to every town hall meeting.
Yep.
No matter if it's Martin Heinrich, no matter if it's little Ben Ray Lujan, no matter if it's Gabe Vasquez or Melanie Stansberry or even Leger Fernandez. We need to flood those.
Yes.
But listen to what Gabe Vasquez had to say about why he voted against the Laken-Riley Act. Now, Blake, what was the Laken-Riley Act? What kind of protection did that give citizens?
It was to protect against illegal foreigners coming here, especially if they're criminal. And if they are criminal, they get sent away no matter what.
Wow. Wow. So I think that was but listen to what Gabe Vasquez had to say, and be proud, New Mexico. Just be proud.
They're powerless, foolish men that cannot bring back somebody with legal status to this country, but you can impose 185% tariffs on countries that trade with us? That really isn't what's going on. We know what is going on. They are targeting folks all across the country, including here in New Mexico, without due process. That's one of the reasons that, even as a frontline member of Congress, as somebody who won a district in Congress that Trump also won, they said, wow, Dave, you really had courage to vote against the Laken-Riley Act. which I did. I voted against the Lincoln Rally Act. Even though some because due process
And
is
there
a
are
fundamental part of who we are as Americans. Innocent until proven guilty. You deserve a fair day in court. You should have that. Abrego never had that. And if they can disappear him, they can disappear legal permanent residents, green card holders. And you know what? It's going to come down to American citizens if they get their way. And so we're going to continue this.
So he's very happy that he voted against protecting his citizens, his constituents.
Yes.
He's very happy.
And he said, because that's our right as Americans. Well, they aren't Americans.
Right.
They're
very, very
illegal
happy.
foreigners.
And people applauded him. Come on.
People applauded.
And when you watch the video, it was probably about half the people there that clapped.
Really?
Yeah, I would say. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about the mug shots that Donald Trump hung for the press to take a look at. We'll get to that. They're pissed about the mug shots. And there's another impeachment of Donald Trump. Cut number 2B, and I can't remember this guy's name. He'll tell you what his name is. He is from Michigan. He is a Democrat, of course. He is a native of India. Here's what he had to say about impeaching Trump.
Congressman Shri Thanedar, Donald Trump has already done real damage to our democracy, but defying a unanimous 9-0 Supreme Court ruling, that has to be the final straw. It's time we impeach Donald J. Trump. The court said the wrongfully deported Kilmer Garcia must be allowed to return and receive due process. Trump ignored it. He ignored the Constitution. He ignored the very checks and balances that keep our democracy intact. This isn't an isolated incident. It's part of a dangerous, deliberate pattern. That's why today I introduced a resolution to impeach Donald J. Trump.
So, first thing that comes to my mind is like, welcome to 7-Eleven.
Right.
Right.
Thank you. Come again.
Yes, you come again. Slurpee machine not working today. So, by the way, good, hardworking individuals. I'm not, but that's what reminded me.
No, you're making fun
for
of
sure.
him. I get it.
So, I mean, impeach Donald Trump, a threat to democracy. I thought they had left that, but I guess they're back on the
No,
bandwagon.
and the big thing about him is he goes, the Supreme Court said that he must be allowed to come back and get due process. Great. And because it didn't happen within 30 seconds, they're all been out of shape.
Right.
You know, their whole
And now
thing,
he's not coming back.
Yeah.
He's
Not
stuck.
coming
That
back.
dude's stuck.
He's
Unless
not
he
gonna come
dies
back.
or he escapes, he ain't coming back.
But
Did
their
you
whole thing is
see
he
the
didn't
represent-
immediately do it. That's what they're mad
Yeah.
about.
Representative Dexter said she's not coming back until he comes back. She's staying in El Salvador.
Good riddance.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, that's one less vote.
Cut off.
Not a problem. Stay
Cut
there.
off your taxpayer-funded credit card.
No doubt.
Like,
No doubt.
she can say she's staying there, but that shouldn't be on taxpayer money.
Mm-hmm.
No, it should not be.
If
on
she makes the
taxpayer money.
choice to stay in another country, then she can pay for it.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to give you the 7 things that married couples need to do every year. Some of these I agree with, some of them I don't. I'll get to it next. Morning show being brought to you by Zia Guns, 1907 North Main in Roswell. 1,000 guns in stock, handguns, rifles, shotguns. They can tune up your bow. Looking for personal protection. They have lethal and non-lethal personal protection. Ladies looking for the right gun. They can handle that. Trade in your old gun to get a better gun. Sell them your gun directly. And look, they've got great people that work at Zia Guns. If you've never bought a gun, go in there and chat with them. 575-622-0023. Are in Roswell, 1907 North Main. Zia Guns closed Saturday, always open on Sunday. Monica, I'm going to let you speak on some of this, and but let Tom, number 1 on the list is that you have to have check-ins So let her know that annual check-in means the state of your relationship. Communicate with your spouse about the state of your relationship. You know how we have that whole thing for the State of the Union?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what that is.
Well, I remember
So,
my first wife, when she did laundry for the first time after we got married, I said, look, and then she dried my socks. I said, do not put my socks in a ball. I want them folded.
She told you that?
I told her that.
You told her that.
I said, because they're wrinkled and they feel wrinkled when I put them on my feet.
What does that have to do with checking in on your marriage?
Well, at least you know where that stood.
Okay.
So, Monica, where you think it's important to?
Absolutely. I don't think that I would call it a check-in, but if that's how they're calling it, then okay. I think that it is important that husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, spouses, whatever, partners, take time to themselves. Because if you within yourself, like together, take time.
That's coming down the list.
Right.
Let's stay on each topic here.
Yeah.
No. So to me, that would be a check-in.
Yeah. Number 2 would be take a vacation together.
Yes, please.
Very, very important.
Please.
Number 3, I don't know if I agree with it, but, take a vacation apart. And they go on to say that it's good to be apart from your spouse because sometimes you take them for granted. But if you're away from them, you will come home and be grateful for them in your life. Thoughts?
I've been in relationships where my boyfriend, or at the time Cena's father, would go away on business trips. And a lot of times, like, they were not just business trips. So I'm completely against that. I'm against it.
I'm against separate vacations too.
Yeah. Like
I'm for
yeah,
we
it just opens the door for each person to explore other things and maybe some unnecessary shite.
Well, I'm just going to be honest. I mean, if I was by myself last Saturday night and I was drinking and I got a little fueled up, I'm not saying I would, but, you do dumb things.
Yeah, you would have been a little more free-willing.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Celebrate special events. So how many years you've been together, that type of stuff.
Yes,
Tom, what's your thought?
Well, when we celebrated our 10th anniversary, my brother was graduating from college, and I said, we need to go to his graduation. And how about anniversary?
Well, it's not really celebrating your marriage.
Well, it was either that or celebrate a 10th anniversary with her. I didn't really want to do that. I thought my brother's graduation was more important than that.
Now you know why you're not married.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
we could do that.
There's a lot of insight here.
We could do
Tom.
that on another weekend, I told her. Well,
well,
it's the Tom Hayes stuff.
Yeah, you just told her she wasn't important to you.
Yeah, that's what you did. And that's why you're not married. That's why she found Sancho. Talk about finances.
100%.
Yes.
Finances. Money trouble among couples is probably one of the worst things that can lead to issues. So talk about your financing. Agreed?
Yes, absolutely.
Tom, did you have separate bank accounts?
Yeah, we did. You divvy up the bills. You pay that, I pay this.
Man, look at every single one of these. Tom is on the other side of.
No,
there hasn't been one yet.
That's another thing that I'm completely against. Like, if you're with somebody, like, you join your money together. Like, what's yours is mine. What's mine is yours.
Yep.
Like, none of this separate
Tom,
bank account stuff. That's
you would have been on the winning side because she made more money than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least I got to spend my money any way I wanted to.
No wonder you're not married, bro.
Yeah, but I had a penny instead of a $100 bill.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Number
no.
6 would be set goals.
Yes.
Set financial
please.
goals and set goals for your relationship.
Yes. I mean, for crying out
So-
loud, we set some goals to get your house in order. Like, that's important.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
we need to be
No
on the
doubt,
same page
no
about
doubt.
it.
And sometimes me and the wife are not on the same page on a lot of things because she likes to spend and I am more in the savings for the future. So sometimes we don't always agree, but I think it's important that we set goals, which would be number 6. and then relive the story. How you met, how you fell in love, and all of that. That would be number 7. So, Tom, your epic fail, and now we understand more why you're not in a relationship. Now, we get it. We get
all
it now.
7. All
We do.
7 of those he was on the opposite side of. All 7.
I ain't sharing money with no woman. I don't care if she is my wife. Now, look, I know people that are very successful, happy married, and don't have the same bank account. So, to each their own.
Yeah.
All right, let's check the weather. Being brought to you by A Customs Construction and Roofing and insurance specialist, licensed, bonded, and insured. Local veteran Dwayne Pennick, operating for 30 years. That's why he's got that A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau for 30 years. He's giving free estimates right now. You know, he was out and about in Lovington after that major hailstorm and in Hobbs, repairing skylights at no charge.
Right.
No strings attached. Hey, let me just help you.
Yep.
I want to help the community, and that's what he did. And so if you need somebody to go give you an estimate on your roof or go look at it, see if it does have hail damage, give Dwayne Pennick a call today, 575-318-9725. Couple things to note. He's local, has been local for 30 years.
Yep.
He is trustworthy, and he's a veteran. Dwayne Pennick, A Custom Construction and Roofing, warning you, these out-of-town, out-of-state contractors that come in here when we have hailstorms, they are like locusts. And then when they're gone, you're stuck with a piece of paper that's not worth anything. That's your warranty. It's not worth anything. Give Dwayne a call this morning, 575-318-9725.
Amen.
Call him today. Great guy. He'll get out there. He'll get it done. And he'll check. This morning, he's going to go check on your roof if you give him a call. Find out what's happening. So get on the list today, 575-318-9725. Check him out today. Southeast New Mexico, high 87. Sunny skies. Maybe some rain expected later on tonight. Windy day in Ruidoso. We're talking about 25-mile-an-hour winds today. High temperature getting up to about 66, 38 tonight, 64 tomorrow. And Albuquerque, nothing to worry about, sunny today and 78. Let's take a break. We're coming back. First thing we'll do is check in on the text. If you want to get on the text, 877-396-W105. News this morning being brought to you by WWRV times3.com, 988-0392. Look, if you're looking for an affordable, quiet place to park your RV and you're working or living in Carlsbad, they've got 3 RV parks, more than 162 RV hookups, 30 and 50 amps available, all utilities included. And don't forget that price includes the high-speed internet that you can game with or enjoy movies. You can stream the movies. They're pet-friendly, very well lit up, a nice place. Go to that website, www.rv3.com or 988-0392. Taking a break. We're coming right back. It's 7:10. Be in the Breakfast Club.
MTD Radio News, I'm Blake Ovard. On Saturday, Eddy County Fire and Rescue, along with Carlsbad Fire Department, jointly responded to multiple water rescue reports. The first victim was rescued from their truck as it swept along Black River Village Road shortly before 3 a.m. The second rescue, almost 2 hours later, took place near Higbee Hole Road shortly before 5 a.m. No injuries or deaths were reported. Officials said if road signs and traffic barrels are in place, it is to keep the public safe from those situations. As of the last check, the roads still remain closed in those areas and will be opened when considered safe. And measles cases in eastern New Mexico have risen to 66, according to the New Mexico Department of Health. 61 of those cases are in Lee County, with Eddy, Chavez, and Doña Ana counties also seeing cases. And 646 measles cases have been reported in the Texas outbreak. Gaines County remains the main outbreak area, totaling 393 cases. A former Doña Ana County judge and his wife, who are now in federal custody, are accused of assisting a suspected gang member, Christian Ortega Lopez, living in their home and hiding evidence. Joel Kano, now disbarred, and his wife Nancy were arrested by the Department of Homeland Security agents on Thursday at their home in Las Cruces. Nancy Kano maintained communication with Ortega Lopez and attempted to help him delete his Facebook account, which contained evidence relevant to his criminal case. Federal documents state one of the phones used by Ortega Lopez was still in the Kano home and may have contained further incriminating evidence, but police reported that Joel Kano admitted to destroying the device and disposing of the pieces. As a result, Kano is facing charges of tampering with evidence, while his wife is charged with conspiracy to tamper with evidence. The ultra-violent Tren de Aragua gang has been designated as a foreign terrorist organization by the U.S. government. And that's the way it is. I'm Blake Ovard. This is MTD Radio News.
In need of a tow? Those don't have to be dirty words. At Lee County Roadside, they have been offering friendly and knowledgeable service for 20 years. From light to heavy duty, there's nothing they can't tow. And with 24-hour availability, there's no time they can't tow it. Don't make a bad day worse by choosing the wrong tow company. Lee County Roadside, the good guys to call in a bad situation. For 24-hour service, call 575-392-3223 or locate them at 7401 North Del Paso, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Like Lee County Roadside on Facebook and follow them on Instagram.
Pharmacy 575 is excited to welcome nurse practitioner Jessica Barrera to their team. From primary care to minor injuries, she is ready to care for our community. Walk-ins are welcome, but appointments are preferred. Offering the My Daily Medication program with pre-dose packaging, wellness consultations, weight loss plans, and more. Go see Pharmacy 575 at 305 East Sanger, Suite 600, or call 575-263-2908. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Pharmacy 575. Your health, their priority.
If you, your business, or your organization is needing a venue or facility to host a meeting, convention, party, or other special event, don't cram everyone into your tiny little office. Call the Lee County Event Center. You don't have to fill up the main floor. The Event Center has many other smaller rooms that are perfect for meetings, seminars, parties, and other special events. The Lee County Event Center, seating for 25 or 2,500. 5101 North Lovington Highway in Hobbs. Call 575-391-2100 or visit LeeCountyEvents.com.
Now open at the Western Heritage Museum and Lee County Cowboy Hall of Fame. Enjoy Prometheus in the Desert, the dawn of the nuclear age, an immersive exhibit that tells the history and science of the atomic bomb and the end of World War II. The exhibit includes props and costumes from the film Oppenheimer, a spare shell casing of Little Boy, and an interactive timeline. The Western Heritage Museum is located on the New Mexico Junior College campus at 1 Thunderbird Circle, Hobbs. Open daily 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
You are cordially invited to a most elegant affair at Inn of the Mountain Gods. Presenting artful tea time with a brush of elegance, Saturday, May 10th. Indulgent finger sandwiches, fruit Danish, scones, an assortment of teas and more. Come spill the tea with us. For tickets, go to innofthemountaingods.com. Special thank you to our event partner, Bridge to Art. Minors must be accompanied by an adult.
Hey, man, turn that down. Where's my keys?
Hey, what's the rush?
I'm headed to the JC to sign up for some classes.
What's the hurry? We barely graduated.
I heard classes are filling up.
So what, you're gonna be a scientist or something?
Man, I could be a welder, police officer, barber, or maybe even a nurse. They make bank.
Yeah, right.
They even have audio and video classes for you.
Really? Hold up. Let me get my keys and I'll drive.
Just roll on out to New Mexico Junior College and register at nmjc.edu today.
Have you always wanted to drive as your career, but didn't want to bother with extra licensing or huge vehicles? Join the full-time driving team at Shuttle Ruidoso. The only requirements are a clean driving record, drug test and background check, and the possession of a smartphone. Shuttle Ruidoso provides non-emergency medical transportation throughout New Mexico and West Texas, while also delivering kindness, caring, and respect. If this sounds like the career for you, please email humanresources@shuttleruidoso.com or call Maximo today, 575-257-1815. That's Maximo, 575-257-1815.
This show is powered by Permian Ford. Stop by and see Daniel Vellis today.
Hello, are you happy people?
Tom A is in charge, like the water boy is in charge of game plans.
Bean and the Breakfast Club in the morning. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Be in the Breakfast Club.
Are you in the house?
Another day, another 55 cents. We are BAC. and the Breakfast Club. Tom A. in charge this morning. He is the guy in charge of the text.
Good morning.
Start it off, Tom.
All right, Eddie D saying, I'm sick of them demon rats. What Gabe Vasquez needs is a good old whipping. Give him or her some act right and bring them back to reality.
Holy
Is that
crap.
right? That was the way he said it. I'm gonna read it again.
Just
I'm
like
sick of
the
these
water
demon
boy.
rats. What Gabe Vasquez needs is a good old ass whipping. Give him or her some act right and bring back them to reality.
I'm sick of these demon rats. What Gabe Vasquez needs is a good old ass whipping. Give him or her some act right and bring them back to reality, says Eddie D.
Well, that sounded much better. I mean,
Eddie D don't know how to do
better.
stuff.
Eddie D sent in a perfect text.
I don't think it was him.
He ghetto.
He is
How-
not ghetto.
And only,
How
only
could
Monica
Monica-
can read it because she's ghetto too.
So now
I told
you calling
well,
somebody
this ghetto girl knows how to
frumpy.
read. I don't know what
You're
talking
calling
about.
somebody frumpy and now ghetto.
Right.
Yeah, he's
Well,
full of
you gotta-
names this morning.
But you got to remember, he hates women. He's a misogynistic person, sexist, racist, and a liberal.
I like
Yeah.
to massage them.
Hey, if any of you guys are watching online, if you can, like, screenshot your camera, zoom in on his lemon. It's disgusting this morning.
Don't do that.
It ain't
It's
lemon.
disgusting.
Yeah, it's brown. Lemons are not supposed to be brown.
You're not even supposed to be eating in the studio.
I'm not eating them.
or you're supposed to eat during the break.
What is that?
Tell Monica that too.
What
Hello.
is it, Tom?
What?
What
And
if
why,
you're not eating?
why are
what
you
is it there?
eating?
They're lemons.
Why are you eating lemon?
He's
Breakfast
been.
is the most important meal that you can eat.
That's my first breakfast of the morning.
Yeah, he's been on his
Lemon.
little lemons in the morning binge thing, which, I
Well,
mean, they smell good. I'm
evidently
not
it's
going to lie.
not working. You gained 10 pounds.
Hey, I got a plan.
They cover up his bushy in the morning.
That's true. I will give it that. That the lemon smell is much preferred. But why don't you get
God
here before
bless.
5 minutes
You're
till,
so ghetto,
and
ghetto,
you'll
ghetto.
have time to eat not in the studio.
So
I'm going to laugh so
Poor
hard.
Tom.
I don't want to bust y'all's eardrums out. Okay, that jackass politician from Michigan sounds like the same person you get whenever you call the help center for any products with the warranty.
I'm sorry.
We can't understand
Information on that is
dang
not
thing he
available
said.
right now.
Can you turn it off and back on?
Homeboy needs to go back to India. F. Gabe Vasquez. Monica, Tom's opinion on women doesn't count. He thinks Hillary is hot. Correct. And Kathy from the Patch said, I've been married for almost 25 years. I say that marriage has to have trust and grace.
Amen.
Men. 7-Eleven,
Amen.
Ricky says the guy. I think a good relationship has to do with communication and negotiation. It depends on what you're negotiating on, Bozo, because that's his real name, Bozo. I'm not
okay.
calling him a Bozo. That's Bozo from the Patch.
I was like,
It
okay.
depends on what you're negotiating on. That there are some things that are non-negotiable, honestly. She couldn't check the bank account to see how many times he went to the buffet, referring to Tom's exes. And this texter said, we've got 4 bank accounts: his, hers, allowance, bills, and savings. B, is your
Okay.
hearse going to be pulling a trailer at your age? What
Yeah.
are you saving for? Says the texter. And this one is
What am
near-
I saving for? So, number one, what I'm saving for is that I have money to survive when I stop working. How about that? And number two, I'm trying to take care of my wife. I'm trying to take care of, she will never have anything to worry about when I'm gone.
Tender.
That sounds kind of loving.
That does sound very loving.
Imagine that.
And this texter texted in and said, Monica, I've been listening to the show for 5 years, and I haven't had a chance to text in since you've joined the show. I just wanted to let you know that as a female listener, it's a blessing to have a bit of estrogen to balance out all that testosterone. You represent
Wait,
us
we had to wait a second. We had Tom for that.
You represent us conservative women beautifully, and I hope you're on the show for a long time. I love you and what you bring to the show. You absolutely made my whole week. Honestly, you're Tinder. Thank you so much. I'm glad I can bring
Thank
that
you.
element.
Tom, what was your estrogen level now that we know your A1C?
A1C was 7.1.
Yeah, what was your
unproven.
estrogen level?
What was your
What's your
estrogen
estrogen
level?
level?
What's estrogen got to do with anything?
It's a hormone.
That's a lot to do with it.
But testosterone
You're
was pretty
taking
good.
What was it?
testosterone.
Oh,
You need to know what
wait. Do tell, what was your testosterone, which is what it's called?
Testosterone?
No.
It was good.
What was it?
I forgot. But it
Well,
was
why
good.
don't you get
You
the
forgot.
printout and bring it in, and you can show us,
Was it like
like
600?
Will asked you to do.
That's HIPAA.
No, I bet
400?
he's around. No, it's not. HIPAA only you can give your information to anyone you want. HIPAA only refers to
235.
those people who are in charge.
I'm going
of those
for
things.
235.
Was it 250 to 300?
It's in the thousands.
It was not in the thousands.
Oh, your testosterone not
Is that the way it works?
No.
I would be willing to put money on that.
I would
Oh.
put $10,000 on it. It was not over 1,000.
Oh, I would match that 10,000.
It was in the neighborhood.
Then print it out
that
and bring it
doesn't
up
count.
here.
Yeah, bring it up and we'll pay. New survey finds that over half of Gen Zer professionals say their college degree is not worth whatever it costs. It's not worth it. Yeah, many of those degrees are not worth the money that was spent. I mean, if you got a degree and you're now working at Starbucks, look, I'm glad you're working, but it's not really where you thought you would be. And now, look, it's a great thing that you got that diploma to hang up in your parents' basement. Awesome. Great deal. New study finds that you add more ultra-processed food to your diet, your risk of premature death increases.
Say that again?
We really need a study to know that ultra-processed food is bad.
Oh, no.
Sounds to me like the scientist got caught munching on hot Funyuns, and he said, let me do a study on this. That's exactly what it sounds like. I'm going to do a study. I'll show you guys. Former Minnesota Vikings running back Adrian Peterson arrested early Friday morning in Minnesota near Minneapolis. Drunk driving charges. And was attending a NFL draft party. That is so sad that he's been in and out of trouble. And look, when he beat his kid, I have no problem taking a switch to a kid.
Sure.
None. Spare the rod.
Spoil the child.
Yeah. There we go. Looks like Washington Commanders getting a brand new stadium, $4 billion stadium on the site of the current RFK Stadium. So they're getting a stadium, but it's going to be built over the current.
No, it's going to be
current site.
No, it's going to be built at the old RFK Stadium site.
Oh, RFK Stadium.
Yeah,
So where do they play now?
In Landover, Maryland.
Yeah.
Oh, so a different stadium.
Yeah, back
So
originally when they were the Washington Redskins, that stadium, RFK, the old one.
Got you. And by the way, I got to say I was wrong about something yesterday about the Eagles going to the White House. Tom was right about that. See, I was a little confused because Jaden Hurr had said that he hadn't made up his mind. So, and he actually didn't go. So he ended up not going to the White House.
How do you say Barkley's first name? Shaquan, is that right?
Yeah.
Shaquan Barkley.
Yeah, he actually rode on Air Force One with the president.
I saw that.
Back to the White House.
Yeah, we'll come back to the mug shots. Play number 4, Trump with the Eagles at the White House. Then we'll play Shaquan.
I was there. I watched in person. I was there along with Taylor Swift. How did that work out? How did that one work out?
So listen to what he said about Shaquan Barkley, and kind of cool that he got to ride on Air Force One.
I was there. I watched in person. I was there along with Taylor Swift. How did that work out?
That's the same one.
How did that one work out?
That was 5.
Maybe I messed up, but he said it was a honor to have him on.
Yeah.
And said that he was super cool. Mugshots. Did anybody see the mugshots that they put up at the White House? And the cool part about this is that the reporters that are, yelling questions to Donald Trump had to see the mugshots.
Yeah.
So what did CNN do? They blocked the mugshots.
Yeah, blurred them out.
They put that fuzzy stuff over their face.
Oh yeah.
Did they have any problem showing Donald Trump's mugshot?
Nope.
No.
None?
Nope.
Oh.
None.
Cut number 3, Blake. Blocking out the mugshots. Thank you, CNN.
The Trump administration is approaching its first 100-day mark with a full court press on the issue of illegal immigration, and they really don't want you to miss it. So they subtly and tastefully deck the White House North Lawn with dozens of yard signs featuring photos of people that the Trump administration claims are in the country illegally, each poster saying arrested and listing the alleged offensive with which they have been charged. CNN's working to confirm the identities and if there are actual allegations against these people. Until then, we are blurring their identities.
Oh, yeah, we're going to blur the, we're going to blur the foreign criminals.
We're just going to give them a little protection.
Yeah,
Well,
we're going to give them a lot of protection.
Well, that's the Criminal Protection Network, I guess. I got to figure out what the other end works for.
I think that is them. Yeah. MSNBC is not too far away from that. They were very upset. 3A, liberals losing their mind.
Hold on, I was on the wrong one. 3A, here we go.
3A.
Put up about 100 posters of what they say are unauthorized immigrants who have been arrested for violent crimes. You can see them there. They put them up on the driveway of the White House. If you look here, that's the West Wing just at the forefront, the executive mansion itself to the left. But what's particularly noteworthy about this location is it is right directly behind the positions where TV correspondents do their hits from the White House lawn. So therefore, no matter what network you're on, that includes MSNBC, if you're doing a hit from the White House right now, those pictures will be behind you. The White House doing a briefing in about a half hour about what they're...
So they're very upset about it. Very, very, very upset. Now, why did Jalen not go to the White House, Tom?
And I thought because he's not a Trump fan.
So he's not a Trump fan. But wouldn't you be a White House fan? Wouldn't you be a team player and go with the team?
You're the most valuable player of the Super Bowl. You better be on that plane.
I'm just saying, if I thought Barkley was the most valuable player.
No, well, he didn't win the MVP for the Super Bowl.
I'm just saying, if I had the opportunity to go to the White House and Kamala Harris was the president, I would go. It's the White House.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
How many chances are you going to have going to the White House?
Well, he probably got reminded of government housing. That's probably why he didn't want to go.
Oh, Tom went there. Tom went there.
You're saying that the White House looks like government housing?
That's what it reminded Jalen of.
How does your
Tom?
How is that brain even wired?
I don't know how that's wired. No, I don't know.
That's the connection.
We'll check in on text coming up. We've got the taking out the trash, things that happen on this date in history. Trump easing the tariff impact on U.S. car makers, according to information. And Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said that they're going to ease the restrictions just a little bit to help the U.S. automakers. So we'll see where this goes. And do the American automakers need help? Yes. I think we should protect them. Foreign automakers, I think they're going to have to come to the table and make a deal. Yeah, and they should. Looks like act of brutal domestic violence led a man being sent to prison on federal charges According to the U.S. Attorney's Office news release, Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office deputies responded April 13th to a call for a pregnant woman who said that she had been repeatedly assaulted by a man who punched her and discharged a rifle near her face. Woman told police officers that Luis Martinez, 37 years old, had threatened to kill her and her unborn baby if she called the police. She was able to escape and called the police. By the way, he later fell asleep and they were able to apprehend him. Search of the residence found multiple firearms, including a AR-15, ammunition. Martinez was arrested by the U.S. Marshal Service, and he's sentenced to 84 months in prison, I should say, and subject to 3 years supervised probation upon his release. So what a great guy, assaulting a pregnant woman. Kind of crazy. And Doge for the win. They just confirmed, Tom, your girl Hillary Clinton is dirty. USAID gave Chelsea Clinton $84 million. That money was supposed to go to relief to Haiti. But when they broke it down, you know how much money Chelsea Clinton got for her wedding?
How much?
$3 million, wasn't it?
Millions.
Yeah.
Oh my
Millions. She also bought a $10 million luxury mansion on the American taxpayer dime.
What a disgrace.
Yeah, what a absolute disgrace. And Kanye West has definitely lost his mind. Kanye West has completely lost his mind.
Kanye West.
Kanye. One that was married to Kim Kardashian, not Connie.
He knows. He's got to change everybody's name. Turde Reese. That's your new name. So Kanye West gets banned from Twitch just 7 minutes after a Hitler salute and a rant about impregnating Paris Hilton. This guy's lost his mind. I think you know what his problem is? He just wants attention.
Yeah.
When he was walking his nude wife around on a leash, you don't think that was attention? He was looking for attention.
Oh yeah.
I think this dude needs a checkup from the neck up. You remember it was only like 5 years ago that he had found Jesus? Maybe he needs to go back and find Jesus. He definitely needs to go back and find Jesus.
So doesn't that make him, Tom A, a big fan?
Tom, you're a fan of Kanye West?
Kanye West? He's an idiot.
Kanye West.
But your thing about Dion yesterday was he praised Jesus. Well, so did Kanye West.
Apples and oranges.
No.
No, I don't think so. I think it's pretty much the same. I think it's pretty much. Yep. And a second arrest made, second illegal alien arrested in the Kristi Noem purse case. So they arrested a second individual. You probably remember the story. Kristi Noem, the Secretary of Homeland Security, her purse was stolen on Easter Sunday. Christian Santamaza, 51 years old. He's from Chile, was arrested in Florida in connection with her purse, illegal alien. Another person from Chile, Mario Bustamante, was also arrested earlier this month. So 2 arrests in the Kristi Noem. And the way they were able to capture them is they watched the video from the restaurant and then proceeded to watch the video, The Eye in the Sky. You'd be surprised how many cameras are out there that they can follow you.
Right.
There's a special name for those cameras in Europe. What's that called, Blake?
CCTV.
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 Yeah, go check that out. There's actually a TV program. That's all the whole TV program's about. Yeah, kind of crazy. 9:39. Let's do text 877-396-W105. I'll take up trash coming up
7:39.
7:39.
All right,
7:39.
Chip is chiming in. Tom, that was a great joke. Had me laughing out loud. That was a great one-liner. Way to go. says Chip this morning on the government housing guy. And somebody please slap Tom A. Streak, says the texter.
I would love to, but my arms will not reach that far.
Blake, you might need to pull Tom's head out of his rear. His thinking is a little cloudy today. And Tom A needs a lobotomy, says Sam the man. Mark from Roswell says, good morning, friends. Monica, wave and then hit Tom for eating on the show. LOL, great show. Hello,
Hey,
Kevin.
her. She's got a burrito she's eating this morning.
I ate a hash brown during the break.
Mm-hmm.
You're just
And the
mad
other
'cause I
thing
didn't
is,
bring you one.
She wasn't chomping
she
on the
knows
air.
how to eat. You eat like a toddler.
Toddler? I don't know, toddler.
Any waitress that has ever cleaned up the mess after you go to the buffet will attest.
No, sir. You know, Hispanics clean up their mess on the table. I do that all the time. They teach you that at home.
You
Am
almost
I not
made
right?
me cuss.
I was going to say,
I came this
we are
close.
on the right page.
Am I not right?
Mine comes more from
I
like a little bit
came-
of OCD. Like I don't like to be around the
Yeah.
messy table. So I
No, there have
I
been
came this
reports.
close to cussing, guys. I came this close to cussing. I have eaten with you. You forget this.
We have had reports from waitresses, Kevin. If you remember, there was as much food
Yes.
on the ground around him.
Yes. Well, and that's why I use the term toddler. Yeah. Toddler.
All right.
Yeah.
Good morning. OMG, Tom rattles off his A1C is 7.1. That's not good. I know it's old news, but yikes. Ditto to what the earlier texter said. I love the addition of Monica and really enjoy the energy of all the personalities, even Tom, says this texter. And Tom pulled his own plug this morning. We are having some complications. So those of you who are tuning in through the app or on YouTube, if you prefer the radio dial, just hang in there.
But the app is the way to go.
Correct.
Right now.
And there was one more that I wanted to read. This one. Oh, no. It's done. We're good.
Here's Monica's first female fan. She's chiming in. You know, you're very well. I wanted to text you for a while now. I'm a teacher in San Angelo, so I'm an hour ahead of you guys, and in my classroom by the time you go on the air. So I listened to you on the previous day's show on Rumble while I get ready to go to work in the morning. That's Monica's first
thank
female
you.
fan this
Oh,
morning.
well, thank you.
San Angelo, Texas.
That's awesome.
Home of the
Yes.
Bobcats.
That is awesome. All right, let me do Take It Out Trash, being brought to you by Trash Eaters, offering haul away all your waste. Residential trash pickup. They have the 96-gallon poly cart, 2 and 4 yard metal dumpsters if you are a commercial business, and they have the big roll-off containers. Call Kayleen 575-408-1719. Trash-eaters.com. Local veteran. Owned and operated. Give Kayleen a call, 575-408-1719 or trash-eaters.com. What's happened in New Mexico? This needs to stop, and it needs to stop today. I think the Trump administration needs to put their foot down. James Holloman and his colleague, Abby Carpenter, searched the southern New Mexico desert for migrants, as they often do. And when they encountered the military, Mexican military that was armed in U.S. territory.
Yep.
Holloman said it happened on Monday, April 21st, in a very remote area of Hachiti. Is that I get that right? Hachita, New Mexico. 18-man group of Mexican military personnel in a fixed mounted machine gun. With weapons, and they actually were in search of illegal weapons and drug smugglers. That's what they said. But when they remind them, hey, we're in the United States of America, we're right here. They open their app and show them we're in America. This needs to be stopped. This needs to be stopped today. America doesn't go across the border. Armed doesn't happen. There are no reports of that happen. How many times does this happen?
Several.
Maybe the Mexican military needs to get a GPS.
Sure.
Or maybe we need to make sure they actually are the Mexican military.
Spot on. Spot on, because sometimes the cartels act like the military.
Right.
True.
Sometimes they do. So that could be a problem. Taking out trash, being brought to you by Trash Eaters. Florida state senator who quit the Democratic Party slammed it, said they were without direction. Florida state senator quit the Democratic Party last week, said he believes that he was pumping money and into the party, and they were not even addressing the needs of the party. Jason Pizzo announced on the floor of the state Senate in Tallahassee that he was changing his party affiliation to no party affiliation. So, Tom, what would that mean? No party affiliation?
Means they're not with anybody.
That would mean he's a independent.
Mm-hmm.
So he has left the Democratic Party and he is independent. I think that more and more middle folks, people that are in the middle of the spectrum, are going to change their party to Republican or independents. I think
agree.
we're going to see more than that during of course, the 2020. Is it 26 that we have more House elections?
Yes.
Coming up, next year.
Yeah, 2026. I think that's going to happen for sure. White House defends the deportation of children born in the United States. Now, look, it was not
he was
them deporting kids.
They weren't deported.
No, they weren't. They were actually, their mothers took them to Honduras. So they weren't deported, but the White House defends the deportation of kids, saying, look, that wasn't our choice. That was the parent's choice. And at that point, it is the parental choice if they want to take their kids or they want to leave their kids in America. You come to America, you break the law, and you're deported, you're going to have to make some very, very serious, you're going to have to decide one way. Are you going to leave the kids? Or are you taking the kids? So here's a word of advice. Don't break the law.
Right.
Tom Holman will talk about that coming up in just a second. And I don't know if you guys saw the video of the missing 16-year-old girl from Missouri found in Colorado with a sex offender. She was actually in his closet in Fort Collins, Colorado. Yeah, she went missing in December from Columbia, Missouri, and recently found at a home of a sex offender in Fort Collins, Colorado, after investigators got a tip via her Instagram account. Girl reported missing December 6th. Authorities were led to the suspect's home, and he was arrested. They actually used his IP address to find out where this young lady was. Sad. They found her in the hiding in the closet. All right, our number 877-396-W105. Monica in the text, if you would.
All right, so we seem to be back on air. So those of you who are wondering when we were going to get back on air. Now,
It's been a hell of a day.
It sure has. Tom read his results wrong. His testosterone wasn't over 1,000. That was his cholesterol, said a texter. And Snooki in Arizona says, I say that Democrat representative that refuses to come back to America until El Salvador citizen is brought back. I say revoke her government credit card, revoke her passport, and blacklist her from being able to come back. Problem solved. And wow, Tom said ass without spelling
I know.
it.
I said that without spelling it.
Because it drops out normally in conversation at other times.
I would like to see Tom eat SpaghettiOs.
No, you wouldn't.
SpaghettiOs.
No, you wouldn't.
And that was hilarious. Sino says that was hilarious. After all the descriptive names given to Tom, and Tom's response was, "I'm not a misjust, what do you call that?
Misogynist?
Misogynist." Says the texter.
Coulter says
Reading comprehension.
Tom brings plenty of estrogen
retired.
to the show. I seen Tom A at the clinic last Friday in person. I wanted to say hello, but would tell the radio station I was a groupie. Oh, but then he would tell the radio station I was a groupie, and he's famous. LOL, said Nathan from Lovington. Tom needs to learn how to read. Oh my God.
We just saw proof of that.
And Tom,
Thank you,
know good at
Texas
living.
education.
No.
Texas.
You can't put that on Texas. I'm a product of Texas education.
So you're saying thank you, Midland?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Leave
Okay.
my
Well, thank you.
awful town alone.
Leave
Thank
your
you,
awful
Midland.
town alone. Oh, wow.
Your awful town? Did you just call Midland awful?
Well, yeah, they've gone corrupt, man.
I told you he's being like Mr. Super Spicy lately. Like everything.
Wow. I 10 minutes away from 10 minutes away from the 8 o'clock hour. Yeah, 10 away from 8. I don't have my big clock here in
I
front
know.
of me,
That's why.
so I'm a
That's
little-
why I try and chime back in whenever you're doing time.
And then I have no glasses, so I can't see the time on my computer. It's a problem. Thank God Thursday I'll be back in the studio. Blake, did you see the Supreme Court in New Mexico ordered 2 new trials for 2 men convicted in a deadly shooting?
They sure did. They
So
sided with the criminals.
2019, yeah, they sided with the criminals,
Wow.
and they decided they were going to side with the criminals. So this was a unanimous decision for the New Mexico Supreme Court, concluding the district court wrongly excluded an eyewitness from being called in for testimony. So they believe that they deprived Jesus Garcia and Alexandro Murano they violated their constitutional rights. So they're going to get one more trial.
Well, what
a deadly
it
shooting
boils
case.
down to is that guy was a neighbor, and he said that he could identify someone who was never charged in that crime.
Oh.
And so, just saying.
And a Carlsbad man accused of stealing police officers' SWAT team equipment. Online court records say Cody Boyd was seen on surveillance video breaking into the detective's vehicle on April 18th, taking a rifle, helmet, and 2 bulletproof vests. Investigators say Boyd was spotted with the rifle in one of the vests. He's now facing charges of having stolen property and being a felon in possession of a gun. So not only did he steal the gun, he's a felon that stole the gun.
Huh. How do they get him?
Some folks will never learn their lesson. In San Juan County, New Mexico, 2 bicyclists were hit and killed by a suspected drunk driver on Saturday.
Yeah.
And looks like teen accused in the murdering of a bicyclist in Albuquerque be held until trial. So this is not the first time this has happened, but 2 people died.
Their families
this.
will now never get them back.
Yeah, sad, and hit by a 2006 Ford Ranger driven by Gerard Tascini, and just sad case. And so this gentleman is of Aztec, and he is going to be held at the San Juan Detention Center. And surprise, he was actually drinking when he hit them. So that's going to be homicide by motor vehicle and DWI charges. We'll see where that
We
goes.
hope.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times, if you kill someone who's walking or riding a bicycle with your car, it's almost just a slap on the wrist. It's unbelievable Second to unborn kids in this state, vulnerable road users have almost no consequence for killing them, like an unborn child. And it's really sad because these are mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, sons, daughters that their families will never get to have them back again.
Right.
Amen. So, correct me if I'm wrong, Blake. Yesterday, did we have the cut about Donald Trump signing an executive order about truck drivers?
I don't remember a truck driver one.
So, Donald Trump signed, I see it, it's Press Secretary Levitt, cut number 9, talked about signing a executive order. And then this is going to deal with Uber drivers also. But if you're a truck driver, you must speak English and be able to read and write English.
I did
Now, yeah.
Okay.
I get it.
I'm okay with
this
that.
was something that was put into place. This used to be the law.
Yes.
And I don't know how long ago this went backwards. I don't think it was Biden. I think it was probably Obama. But I want to applaud this, but at the same time, do you know how many we have a shortage of truck drivers in this country?
Yeah, but
I want to applaud it, but I just don't know if it's a great idea.
That's how I feel about it.
Well, but if I have truck drivers, and we just talked about a drunk little pickup truck driver killing a couple people. But if I have commercial drivers, I want them to be able to understand every road sign. I want them to understand every highway sign. Every, if it's in English, then they need to be able to understand it because they're driving a really big vehicle.
But could they pass the test and still understand the signs? Because if somebody is taught what that sign means.
No, I'm talking about, how many of these little billboards they put out now on the highway is slow down, construction ahead, be prepared to stop or whatever. That kind of thing.
We'll do a show about that in the future and ask if it's a great idea to specifically truck drivers.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from other truck drivers.
Yeah. So if you would play Karen, Secretary Levitt talking about this brand new executive order Donald Trump signed.
Order, which actually speaks to the heart of your question earlier about the Uber drivers, will be a order directing the Department of Transportation to include English literacy tests for our truckers. This is a big problem in the trucking community that, unless you're in that community, you might not know. But there's a lot of communication problems between truckers on the road, with federal officials and local officials as well, which obviously is a public safety risk. So we're going to ensure that our truckers, who are the backbone of our economy, are all able to speak English. That's a very common sense policy. And
So this was a law, and I think under Obama, he executive ordered that it wasn't a law anymore. Donald Trump is rolling it back to the initial law. So I'm conflicted because we do have a shortage of truck drivers in this country. All right, we'll get to National Anthem and the pledge coming up, things that happened on this date in history. Morning show this morning being brought to you by La Tienda in Carlsbad. Try the taco bar. They also have made from scratch tortillas, corn and flour, and you can get those. They make those multiple times a day. Plus, they have chips and so much more. Cinco de Mayo specials going on right now. Get the baby back ribs for $2.77 a pound. The chuck steak for $4.77 a pound. Boston butt pork roast for $1.77 a pound. And get the fryer drumsticks for 87 cents a pound. Produce department, Roma tomatoes, 99 cents a pound. Jalapeno peppers, 2 pounds for $1. Corn, you can get the fancy corn, 4 count for $5. And avocados, get 2 for $3. And while you're at La Tienda, don't forget the deli. They have the sandwich bread for $1.39 a loaf. Also, the beef bologna, $5.99 a pound. Virginia ham for $5.49 a pound. And the Kobe cheese for just $6.99 a pound. And if you're looking for refreshments, they have you covered with all the refreshments at La Tienda in Carlsbad. Check them out today. Bud Light, Coors Light, also Miller Lite. Get the 30-pack 12-ounce cans for just $26.99. Get it all today at La Tienda in Carlsbad. Text line, then we'll do, of course, the boob of the day coming up. Now, things that happened on this date in history up next.
I mean, we got a phone call right quick.
Let's go.
Good morning. You're on Being the Breakfast Club. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
This is that dumbass truck driver.
Hey.
Hey.
Good
What's up?
morning.
Okay, how come they're talking about this international driver's license? You have a lot of drivers that get involved in accidents, and if they can walk away, they walk away, leave the scene, go back home so they don't face any jail time.
Yeah, that definitely part of the problem.
Yep.
For sure. And another part of the problem is vehicles that are not licensed in America that come over here and are not insured properly.
True. He dropped.
That's another part of that same problem.
8 o'clock.
Yep. So, all right, 8 o'clock. Let's get to the things that happened on this date in history. Being brought to you by 2A Tactical Firearms Indoor Firing Range, 236 East Navajo in Hobbs, veteran-owned and operated, largest selection of firearms. They've got you covered. State-of-the-art indoor firing range with the Milo FBI training simulator. Pay by the month or pay by the hour. They have optics, suppressors, ammo, also safes, tactical gear, grunt-style clothing. And don't forget, they do offer one-on-one or group setting training. If you're looking to buy a firearm, they offer the firearm safety training. Find them at 2atacticalfirearms.com. That's 2atacticalrange.com. Or you can just stop by and check them out. 236 East Navajo and Hobbs. Don't forget, they're open 7 days a week. Proud sponsor of things that happen on this date in history.
It was on this day in 1429 that Joan of Arc entered and besieged the city of Orleans in France to lead a victory over the British. And speaking of Orleans, in this day in 1865, New Orleans fell to Union forces during the Civil War. And on this day in
before it smelled like urine.
That's debatable. And it was on this day in 1913, the zipper was patented by Swedish-born engineer Gideon Sundback. People finally
still hasn't figured that out.
People finally had a second use for the phrase that Tom hears a lot: your barn door is open.
Yeah.
And on this date in 1965, a 6.5 earthquake hit Seattle. It was the last time the city would shake that much until years later when Starbucks opened its first store and roasted the coffee too long. And in 1986, Tom, this will be up your alley, this pitcher became the first to strike out 20 batters in a single game. Who was he?
No, it was Roger Clemens.
Yes. Ding, ding, Tom.
Nice.
And in 1988, McDonald's, this is for either one of y'all since you're both McDonald's fans, announced they were going to build their first restaurant in Russia.
Right.
They also unveiled the McBorscht. I bet they'd like to take that one back. In 2004, the National World War II Memorial, that opened in Washington, D.C. Yes, it wasn't until 2004. Today is International Dance Day, National Arbor Day, National Shrimp Scampi Day, Poem in Your Pocket Day, and Zipper Day. Now, maybe your pocket will have a zipper, then you can pull the poem out of your pocket for both days. Just so it's on your calendar, the 151st Kentucky Derby is this Saturday. It is 12 days till Mother's Day and 25 days to Memorial Day weekend. Not that long. Summer is almost here. Michael Ray is 37 today.
He's a singer, but I don't know what he's
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Country singer that Tom's never heard of. Kiss You in the Morning, Think a Little Less.
Okay.
Master P turns 55 today.
Na 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 na. I can't think of anything. No. I know.
It's okay. Master P, go look it up.
I know who it
Uma
is.
Thurman turns 55 today.
Batman.
Actress.
No one is invited over
Kill
for
Bill.
a party, especially Bill.
She was in Batman too.
And
Poison Ivy.
Pulp Fiction.
She was Poison Ivy in Batman.
Uh-huh.
Kill Bill.
Was she? I thought Nicole Kidman was Poison Ivy.
No, Kill Bill. She was in Kill Bill.
Andre Agassi is 55.
Married
Tennis
to Steffi
player.
Graf.
Tennis player, correct. That's what he's known for. He wore Cape tennis shoes, by the way.
Oh, hey.
Singer Carney Wilson turns 57 today. She was with a group.
Release me.
She was with the Wilson sisters. Wilson Phillips. Yeah.
The parents are the mamas and the papas.
She looks like her mama.
Yes, she does. Probably not as famous as Carne Asada, especially if you talk to Tom, but you know, that's Tom's neighborhood for you. Eve Plum turned 67 today.
I know her. She plays on
Brady
Jan.
Bunch.
Jan on the Brady Bunch.
What is her phrase, guys?
Marsha.
Monica did it better. Now listen up on this one. You can tell me the other movies she's been in, but I want you to tell me what her very first movie was. Michelle Pfeiffer turned 67 today.
Grease.
Grease.
2.
Grease 2.
See?
She was not in the first one. Well, Grease 2. Now, tell me your favorite Michelle Pfeiffer part.
Scarface.
My very, very favorite Michelle Pfeiffer movie is the one, not Catwoman. It's the one where she put, what's that one?
Yes, that one.
No, where she plays a teacher. And then she takes that kid to go and eat dinner and he orders a whole chicken. What is that movie?
She was also with Andrew Garcia and When a
Audience,
Man Loves
help
a
me
Woman.
out.
When a man
Tom comes up with all the chick.
Yeah, I'm turning
chick
that off.
flicks.
All right.
Every one of these chick flicks.
All right. Daniel Day-Lewis turns 68 today. He is a 6-time
Didn't he have the
Oscar
song
nominee.
about the left red shoe or something? Wasn't that his first hit?
An animal. I'm a human
Dangerous
being.
Minds. There we go. That's my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Michelle Pfeiffer
That
movie.
was a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Day-Lewis. Name a Daniel Day-Lewis movie. Now, he is a great actor, but he only sparingly takes parts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's only been in like 4 movies in the last dozen years.
Daniel Boone.
I do not think he was in Daniel Boone.
Hell,
I have no idea.
some bad.
Okay, I'm going to give you a couple here.
Okay.
Gangs of New York,
Okay.
Last of the Mohicans, There Will Be Blood. Good movies.
Yeah.
Kate Mulgrew is 70 today.
Kate Mulgrew.
She played Rock Hudson's.
Never heard.
She played Rock Hudson's wife in McLeod.
I'd have to go look that up, but I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
She was Captain Janeway on Star Trek Voyager, and she was Red, the kitchen trustee in Orange is the New Black.
Oh, really?
Okay. I never got into that.
Yeah.
I felt like if I watched it, I was going to become a lesbian.
Oh, well, probably. Jerry Seinfeld turned 71 today. He plans to celebrate another birthday about nothing.
I wish he'd do a new show.
Nah.
Ain't that funny no more.
Yes, he is.
I think that he hit the nail on the head when he said that wokeism is killing comedy.
Yeah, kill
True.
comedy.
True.
Yeah.
And finally, Willie Nelson is 92 today. Now,
To all the girls that last before.
You should
That would be
wash the
loved.
bus or something
Loved.
in
Wait,
honor
wait,
of it
wait,
being
wait,
Willie
wait,
Nelson's
wait.
birthday.
Wait. Read what I wrote down there. Tom, tell me something about Willie Nelson.
I own a bus. of Willie Nelson.
Now, I just gave my sheet to Monica real quick to see what I wrote on there. What did I write, Monica?
Tom will say something about his bus.
Yep, there you go.
There you go.
Hey, no, like
And there you
seriously, in honor of it being his birthday, you should like wash the bus or like clean it for him for his
That's way too
birthday.
much.
I have an offer to sell.
Way
the bus.
too much.
Amen. You should.
You keep talking
Yeah,
about
we
this
heard that,
offer.
but nobody's pulled the
You should definitely take it. Like right now on the air, say I accept your offer.
Well, the
because-
prospective owner came over to my house Sunday, but I was in the bathroom, so I couldn't answer the door.
Yeah, you really want
I
to
was
sell
in
that
the
bus.
bathroom.
All right. I'm moving on from this conversation because it's going downhill fast. This day we lost Dale Earnhardt back in 2001 at the Daytona 500.
Broke his neck when he hit the wall.
Kevin knows the things that happened on this day in history.
So I just want to say this is the way it sounded when the guy came to the bus.
He said, I had an offer.
Yeah. The guy's got, that's a lot of fumigating that needs to be done.
You just lost half the offer.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Back to Dale Earnhardt. Today's his birthday. Was it his birthday? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yes, it would have been his birthday.
Yeah, we ended it and moved on, though.
Well, I thought it was when he died. He died in February of 2001.
We ended it, and how do you remember these stats but can't remember your A1C?
Because he looked it up on his phone.
Just stop it. I'm not going down the damn rabbit hole.
7.1 for all of you.
It would have been his birthday. That's
Check.
why I said we lost him at 2001
Yes.
at the Daytona 500.
Yeah.
All right, check out the weather being brought to you by Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd in Roswell, homegrown and very, very proud of it. They've got everything for the ranch, our farm. Looking for Western wear, they've got you covered. Work gear, certified Purina dealer, and they have everything. I'm talking about fencing, plumbing supplies, hardware supplies, trailers, tank, tack, and so much more. Go to the website, RoswellLivestock.com, 1105 East 2nd in Roswell. Also in Capitan, Lincoln County, Mercantile. Call them 575-622-9164. Quick check of the weather. In southeast New Mexico, it's going to be sunny, high temperature today, warming up to about 87, 50% chance of rain coming up for tonight. Windy day, 25-mile-an-hour winds in Ruidoso, Lincoln County. High temperature today, 66. And in Albuquerque, all day today, sunny skies and 75, looking good. National anthem and the pledge this morning being brought to you by Rebecca Long. She's your Farmers Insurance agent and would love to chat with you about your insurance. You can visit her in Hobbs or call her 575-393-2661. If you're outside of Hobbs, she would love to chat with you about putting together a quote for your insurance. Good people. Call Rebecca Long today. She has been a farmer's agent since she was 19, 40 plus years. Would love to put together a quote to meet your needs. 575-393-2661. Call Rebecca Long today. Proud sponsor of the National Anthem and the Pledge.
We are the Perry family from Hobbs.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave land of the free and the home of the brave.
Eight 14 minutes after 8, we're being the Breakfast Club. Large prayer this morning being brought to you by Judah Oil, reminding you God is in complete control.
From Philippians 4 this morning. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, and whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about these such things.
Hi, this is Felicia Bowen with Judah Oil. Please join me in our Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
All right, we're going to keep you updated with everything going on. Some of the stories we're going to talk about. Joaquin Jeffries and Cory Booker hold a sit-in and a sing-in. Yeah, let's talk about civil war could be coming. Now, who would win the civil war between Republicans or conservatives and liberals? Think about that one. We'll get back to it. Tommy Tuberville could be leaving the Senate to run for governor of Alabama, and it was Melania Trump's birthday. We'll talk about that. And a $70 million plane. You're not going to believe what happened to it. We'll get to those stories in the next break. News this morning being brought to you by Luke Ragsdale, Ragsdale Law Firm, reminding you when accidents happen, yeah, they usually happen when you least expect them. That's why you need a trusted law firm in your phone today. Ragsdale Law Firm, ragsdalelawfirm.com, or call him 575-208-5300. Luke Ragsdale and the Ragsdale Law Firm, specializing in car accidents, personal protection, personal injury, and medical malpractice, along with all field accidents. Based in Roswell, serving the entire state, they offer free consultation. And don't forget, you never pay until they win your case. Call Luke Ragsdale. That number again, 575-208-5300, ragsdalelawfirm.com. We're coming right back. We're Beyond the Breakfast Club.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. It's the 100th day back in office for President Trump. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt this morning.
Today officially marks 100 days of promises made and promises kept by President Trump. This has truly been the most historic start to a presidency in American history.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer calls it 100 days of hell and says Democrats will hold the Senate floor for speeches tonight.
We will expose his broken promises. We'll expose his lies. We'll expose the ways he is threatening democracy.
Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, after winning re-election yesterday, calls Trump tariffs and the end of an era for global trade a tragedy.
We are over the shock of the American betrayal, but we should never forget the lessons.
President Trump is announcing today some tariff relief on imports for American automakers and holds a rally in Warren, Michigan. America's listening to Fox News.
Imagine a world where teams wore plain, uninspired uniforms. Functional? Sure. Eye-catching? Hardly. But as times evolved, so did the demand for standout styles. Enter the era of awesome graphics. Located at 523 West Sanger in Hobbs, New Mexico, they revolutionized team and work attire. Their secret? High-quality FR uniforms from renowned brands like Ariat, Lapco, Byrne, and Bulwark, paired with cutting-edge technology for vibrant, multicolored logos. Awesome Graphics bridges the gap, offering both sports and industrial uniforms that don't just fit well, they inspire. From Nike office shirts to Adidas and Oakley designs, they ensure every team and staff look as professional as they perform. They're not just about appearances at Awesome Graphics, they're about empowering teams. So if you're in Southeast New Mexico and need uniforms that speak volumes, the choice is clear. Visit myawesomegraphics.com and discover how they can elevate your team's image. Awesome Graphics, where style meets performance.
This is Davis Smith, the Guerrilla Lawyer, and I'm talking to you from my office on 3130 North Grimes in Hobbs, New Mexico. Our office has exploded with new clients. And do you know why? Fast settlements, fantastic customer service, and man, we love paying our clients money. If you get injured in a car wreck, you come see the Gorilla. Remember, if you get injured, you get the Gorilla.
Visit 3130 North Grimes or call 575-964-2720. That's 964-2720.
Working inside or outside, there's something for everyone at the Working Guys store. If you need FR, the Working Guys store is packed with everyday low prices on FR jeans and shirts. If you don't need FR, we have fresh new spring arrivals on non-FR jeans and shirts. And we have new Yeti coolers in all the latest colors. Why pay more? Shop the Working Guys store. Open 7 days a week at 109 East Broadway.
Soundwave Saturdays is bringing the heat at Zia Park Casino. Bring your lawn chairs, your family, and your friends. All ages are welcome, free of charge. On April 26th, the fun kicks off with Wild Rumors, delivering music by Fleetwood Mac. On May 3rd, catch the Selena Tribute, 512. On May 24th, enjoy the Broken Hearts, honoring Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Then on June 7th, dance away with Latin Loba, a Shakira tribute. This summer is going to be packed with music and unforgettable nights. Must be 21. Play responsibly. Call the New Mexico Gambling Crisis Hotline at 1-800-572-1142.
The City of Hobbs is bringing the boom this summer with our Independence Day fireworks show happening Friday, July 4th. Get ready for a night packed with family fun, food trucks, music, and the biggest fireworks show around. Mark your calendars, grab your lawn chairs, and stay tuned to our social media for all the sparkling details. It's the 4th of July fireworks show, and it's all happening right here from your City of Hobbs.
Dear Traction, Toyota has 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. The RAV4 has legendary versatility. The Grand Highlander's adult-sized third row is for real. And the Tacoma's wild side comes standard. From job sites to game nights, there's an all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive Toyota to get you there in style. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Visit Permian Toyota in Hobbs today. Toyota, let's go places.
Get ready for smiles at Swift Stop's grand opening in Hobbs. Join the celebration Friday, May 2nd with a ribbon cutting at 9 a.m. Enjoy free hunks of Hunt Brothers pizza while supplies last. Register for a chance to win a 70-inch TV or a Yeti cooler until 3 p.m. Plus, enjoy door prizes all day long. Experience clean, friendly, and satisfying service. Swift Stops, Big Smiles. Your new favorite stop has arrived at 6010 North Lovington Highway in Hobbs. See you Friday, May 2nd at Swift Stop.
Get ready, Hobbs. The Works Combat Academy presents Beat Down on Broadway Round 2. Join the Works Saturday, May 3rd in downtown Hobbs at 200 West Broadway for an action-packed free boxing event sanctioned by USA Boxing. First bell rings at 2:30 p.m., so BYOCC. Bring your own chairs and canopy and enjoy a full day of hard-hitting action. Food trucks will be on site, so come hungry. Special thanks to sponsors Merrill Lynch, Schlotzsky's, Divine Energy, and Bad Bass Barbecue. This ad is proudly paid for by the City of Hobbs Launders Tax. Don't miss it. Beat Down on Broadway is back and better than ever.
Your morning show powered by your Ford dealer. Be in the Breakfast Club being powered by Permian Ford. Be in the Breakfast Club. The human brain starts working the moment you're born and never stops. Unless you're Tom A.
Did you just have a brain fart?
Call or text now, 877-396-W105 to talk to B and the Breakfast Club.
Now with the most information for you to start your day.
Wow.
Guaranteed.
823. We are Beyond the Breakfast Club morning show this morning being brought to you by North Star Laundry, one-stop shop for all your laundry. You can find them in Carlsbad, also in Loving. They do dry cleaning, pressing, starching, and they can wash, dry, and fold all of your clothes. And look, if you want to do all that yourself, not a problem. They have hand machines, coin-operated machines. They're open 7 days a week at all three of their locations. Find them 609 West Lee in Carlsbad, 604 West Church, Carlsbad, and 406 West Cedar in Loving. One-stop shop for all of your laundry. North Star Laundry. Check them out today. Text line, Tom.
All right, this texter says, I'm not sure about other languages, but I know that the CDL test they give it in Spanish, and they also have CDL classes that they can take in Spanish, says the texter. Goes on to say also,
The new rule is they have to be proficient in English language.
In English language. He goes on to say, I'm not entirely sure, but I think they outlawed international license. I know here that they have hit and Hobbs too. I mean, a lot of companies don't and won't take it if you have an international license, says the texter. Okay.
Speaking English and communicating with a DOT driver is already a law, or a DOT officer is already a law.
Is it? Okay.
So you're saying Tom couldn't be a truck driver?
I did try to drive a truck once.
And that law only pertains to OTR drivers over the road. And it's a great idea. That's why your roads are so dangerous, says Chuck from Hobbs. Kevin, I agree with the executive order because, like in Japan, do you need to speak Japanese and read it in order to get your commercials? Same with Germany and with Mexico.
Let me tell you this. I had this conversation today. If you are in Japan, my son and girlfriend is going to Japan in 2 days. You can't stay in Japan. They give very little permits as far as job permits. They better not be able to find a surgeon to bring somebody in. So most countries, and as far as me being in the Philippines, I have to let them know where I'm located. See, America's starting to do that, and people are outraged. I be damn, you make people know where you're living, and why they got to know that? Because you're a foreigner and you're a guest in the country. That's the way it is in most countries.
Smokey in Arizona is a driver. He will say this. I will say it's not so much of a truck driver shortage. It is a pay shortage. And the trucking companies wanting drivers to stay out 6 to 8 weeks before they can go home. Then only wanting to let them stay home for 2 to 3 days and then wanting them back on the road. A la máquina.
Wow.
Jay
that
in the
could
Patch.
be dangerous,
Oh,
too.
yeah. Jay in the Patch says, I have my CDL and I deal with CDL drivers that come to my locations. They don't speak any English and don't understand what I want done. But on the good side, I might go back to driving a truck because the pay will pick up.
Well, Trucker Gary says, good morning, Monica and guys and Tom A. I've been a truck driver in the oil field for almost 25 years, and I'm all for CDL drivers required to speak English, understand English. And here's why, because over the years, about 85% of accidents in the oil field were caused by foreigners. I've seen it, and I believe all foreigners were allowed to enter and drive in under the Bill Clinton and NAFTA, another Democratic failure. I say no to NAFTA.
So it was under Bill Clinton.
Yeah, according to
I had to
Trucker
go
Gary.
back a little further than Obama. I knew it used to be a law at one point.
If they have an international license and are involved in an accident, they just up and leave the scene and go home. They don't have to face any jail time, says this texter. CDL
Look,
drivers should be made.
I had the case of a truck in Brownsville drop something off the truck and it hit my car. I never collected on that. Couldn't. It was a Mexican company that was doing business in Brownsville. I could never do anything. My insurance company ended up fixing my car.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
We got hit in our regular car by a driver from Mexico with Mexican plates, and nothing happened.
Allah. CDL drivers should be made to know English. That was the law many years ago when I got my CDL. They also need to bring back the violation laws on CDL drivers. Drivers were a lot safer when there were consequences for dangerous driving habits. And hey, B, it's always been the law in FMCSA. A driver must read and speak English. 391.11 Section B dash 2. Also, it makes no sense. You can take your written test in Spanish, so explain that. And I'm not
I
entirely.
don't know. I think they're changing. I think they're reversing the course.
I'm not entirely sure, but I think they outlawed international licenses. I know here they have, and in Hobbs, I mean, a lot of companies won't take you if you have an international license. Artesia Tom fan says, "Hey, this is off the subject, but what's with Clint Eastwood and Jimmy Kimmel last week? I haven't heard anything on TV." You know what? I saw that come across.
Remember I mentioned it to you last
something.
week?
You did. I think Clint
I'm going to
Eastwood.
boil it down for you. Jimmy Kimmel's a dumbass, and
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood can still kick his butt at 90
Yeah,
or whatever.
he told him something.
Clint Eastwood
huh?
ain't got time for dumbasses. No.
Lovington still has a problem with commercial vehicles not understanding signs to use the truck route instead of Main Street. Oh, wait, they still don't have a city ordinance in place after the fact. Main Street is finished. Talk about working backwards. Do better, Lovington. We're in 2025. A to the men. I've never lived somewhere where I take like the roundabouts or not the roundabouts, but like the outside roads. Never. I'd rather travel a dirt road than go down a main street. Isn't that sad? I don't know.
No.
I'm just like, this
No.
is wild.
Well, you can
'Cause
travel
it's
dirt
more
road because
busy.
you like to
You're trying
eat dirt.
get where you go quick. And if you know Tom's driving Main Street, you stay the hell away from
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. If it's going anywhere
the way that
near where he
works.
goes, don't drive there.
Yeah.
That
No.
was so good. That was
Thank you
so
very much.
good.
Yep.
That was
Say,
a burn.
Stay away. Yeah. New report out there says the price of marijuana products in New York has dropped as illegal industry up there. Look, I talked about this. California's got the same problem. When you tax Mary Jane so much, they're just going to go to get it on the
Streets.
Get it on the streets.
Yep.
That's all that's going to happen. I'm not surprised. And Guinness World Book of Record Breaker. This guy is a serial record breaker. His name is David Rush. Put his speed stacking skills to the test and won the title. He stacked 10 rolls of toilet paper with one hand and just say really wiped the floor with the competition. He set the record. 10 toilet rolls of toilet paper in one hand. It doesn't give the time. I was looking for the time, but it does not give the time.
What you're saying is that he had more than just time on his hands.
Yeah, he had a lot of time on his hands. He is a serial Guinness World Book of Records breaker. Selma Blair says she is doing amazingly well and is truly relapse-free after she had symptoms of multiple sclerosis. More than 6 years after she shared her diagnosis with fans, she said she is actually doing much, much better. And Portugal, Spain, and France started out the week with a massive power outage. Yesterday, it disrupted all the commuters and airports, completely wiped out all travel in Spain, Portugal, and France. Tom, are they next to each other?
Right next door.
Yeah, right next door. Wow. I wonder if I wouldn't have said that if he'd have got it. What's your thought, Break? You think he'd have got it? Thinking maybe.
Maybe.
How long ago has it been that we've had the sing-ins and the, right there on the steps of the Capitol? Well, Democrats took it to a whole nother level. Hakeem Jeffries and Cory Booker held the sit-in, sing-in. They also talked about, the Civil War. And I'm a little confused about, talking about the Civil War. Are you talking about a new Civil War or the old Civil War? Because if you're talking about a new Civil War, you guys have zero chances of winning that.
I'm going to disagree with you a little bit on that one. At first, I think they have a really good chance at getting in the first few licks. And the reason is because conservatives, while we have more guns and we know how to use them, we don't want to use them. People on the left that is the party of violence.
Oh, maybe
they want
maybe
to
they
hurt
want
people.
to.
They want
Maybe.
to
Yeah, maybe
to maim people. They want to pillage, as is evidenced by the riots that they cause.
Yeah, maybe they.
If you look at all the mass shooters, who are they? Those are people on the left. And so I think at first, until conservatives get fed up, that they're going to get a lot of really good shots in. And I don't mean that's not a pun, is not intended,
Right.
but I think that if a civil war does start, it'll be a while before the conservatives pick up the cause, and then it's on.
Right. Yeah. Did you see the interview that Elon Musk had? He was on with Joe Rogan, and they were talking about they were talking about a lot of things. They were talking about when the assassination happened at Butler, and then they were talking about the second assassination attempt, and they were saying that both houses were scrubbed. How would that happen? That the information's completely scrubbed?
Well, that would be, it was done on purpose.
Right.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Completely on purpose. Yep. Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville. I get the aspirations. He wants to run for governor of Alabama. He's from Alabama. He coached in Alabama, coach of Auburn.
Right.
Then took the job at Texas Tech. But it looks like he wants to be the governor. And he could be leaving his Senate seat because he has aspirations in 2026 to run for governor. Now, could he run for governor while he's a sitting senator?
I think you got to give up the seat, B.
No, I'm thinking, on the other hand, that you do not have to give up the seat.
Right.
I think you can run for governor. I'm not saying that's right, but I think you can run for governor and just go back to Washington, D.C. to vote.
I think that's true.
But would somebody else
Yeah,
want to run for his seat, though?
Well, that seat wouldn't be vacated until he won the race.
Right. If he didn't win, he would still have his seat.
Then he would go back
So he doesn't-
as a sitting senator.
So he had nothing to lose then.
So, I mean, he is a common sense Republican. So I would hate to lose him for him to become a governor of Alabama. Isn't there somebody else in Alabama? What about, you think Nick Saban could get elected governor?
Easy, man. Are you kidding?
I think Nick Saban could get elected governor. And the White House honored Melania's 55th birthday with 20 pictures of her, some of those pictures from her modeling days. But First Lady did not mark her birthday online, spending most of that day with her husband at the funeral of Pope Francis in Rome. And so they got back to the White House, and there were 20 stunning photos of the First Lady. Would you consider her the most beautiful First Lady in American history?
Yes.
Would you?
Yeah.
Tom?
Yeah, not as hot as
Tom,
Hillary,
would
but
you-
yeah, but she's in there.
This
Man, you need some
the only
new
one that
glasses.
Yeah, Jackie O.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only one that I can remember.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That was also beautiful was Jackie Kennedy.
Now
Yeah,
I
and,
don't
there
know
were lots
before
of women
that
that's
because
I'm sure
yeah.
Mrs. Bush was beautiful.
Laura Bush has some. good
Laura
clothes.
Bush was beautiful when she was.
She was very classy. She dressed
Mhm.
a lot like Melania.
Yeah.
Who else?
And look, there have been some really sexy women coming and going out of that White House. The one that comes to mind is Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Well,
she wasn't
maybe.
the first lady, but she was coming in and out of that White House, and
You're just
she
bad.
wasn't first
You're
lady.
bad.
Well, I mean, wasn't she?
She did come
Secret
here.
Service actually had a name for her. You know
What
how they
was her
give
name?
everybody a name?
Right. What was her name?
I don't remember her name.
Blondie.
No, yeah, you're right. They did have a code name for her, and I'm trying to remember.
You know,
Yeah.
I watched her in a movie the
I
other day.
don't remember what it was.
The movie's called Blonde, and she was in a movie with Eli Wallach and
Gentlemen prefer blondes.
no,
is the
but
name.
no, this movie was named Blonde. Eli Wallach and Clark Gable was in it. She was getting divorced, and she met this cowboy guy. And
So Marilyn Monroe was in it?
yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying? Marilyn Monroe?
It was called Blonde.
Oh, okay.
You need to show me proof of that.
Well, look it up on the internet, brother.
The movie just called.
Look it up on
Blonde.
your phone. You have it.
So mad.
No, you look it up.
Just Blonde movie, right?
It's called Blonde.
You look it up.
Arthur Miller production, by the way. That was her husband at the time.
I'm still waiting for that $10,000 bet that he goes ahead and takes that bet.
Oh, it's a new movie about her. It's about Marilyn Monroe. It was made in 2022.
Well, this is a 1956 movie.
Who would watch that?
I was surfing through the net and I found it.
Oh, wait a second. Tom's the only one that would watch that. I got it. I got some TV watching. I got to go watch Mobland and what's the other one? Mobland is probably my big one. So
Friends and
I'll
Neighbors
watch that
with John
this week.
Hamm is a good one. If you haven't seen that, it was a good series. It just started.
Take movie advice.
I don't want to
from
watch
Tom A.
anything that you endorse. I'm just saying my estrogen would go way too high. I'm serious.
There was a 2022 movie about it called Blonde, but they made a series in 2001, which is probably what he saw.
No, this is Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, it's about Marilyn Monroe.
And Clark Gable in his movie.
It's about Marilyn Monroe. That's
Eli Wallach. Look it up.
Look, I'm looking on IMDb right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only thing on
Tom's
there that's
dreaming
called
of stuff.
Blonde.
He's dreaming of stuff. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Seminole Siding and Construction, trusted name across Southeast New Mexico. Siding, they do windows. Look, if you got hit with that hail, that nasty hail, or maybe you're a victim of one of the tornadoes that touched down in Southeast New Mexico, you got to get in touch with Seminole Siding and Construction. You know, they do metal buildings. They can take care of your roof. They can deal with the insurance adjusters. Maybe you have siding issues. They can take care of siding, roof, windows, doors, seamless gutters, all of that. Give them a call, 575-391-1430. Go to the website. It's SeminoleSidingAndConstruction.com. They are a company that you can trust. Let's go to the text line. We're coming right back. Boob of the day up next.
All right. This texter says, I agree with you. You must speak English to drive a truck. And we get drivers, this text saying, out here in the patch and can't drive, says the texter. Okay. I just stood up. I lost my breath. I'm sorry. Monica?
David C. said Norma.
You're better now, though.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God that you're better.
Her name was Norma. Big Trucker C said her name was Lori.
Huh? Norma Jean?
The code name for Marilyn.
Oh, Lori. Oh, okay.
Marilyn Monroe was the second lady, like Monica Lewinsky
Right.
was, says a texter. Our TJ Tom fan says Melania is prettier than Jackie O. Much more personable.
I
I
think
will
so.
agree with personable. And yeah, it's so beautiful. Johnny is full of hate says Hillary Clinton was hot.
See there.
Whatever.
Look, and I'm gonna
I'd hate
reiterate
to see,
this.
I'd hate to see what you and Tom would end up with on a night out, Johnny.
Each other. So the only movie that Marilyn Monroe starred in with the word blonde in the title was Gentlemen Prefer Blondes in 1953.
Well, maybe.
There he goes again, that damn fraud.
Well, he was trying to cover up being wrong. And the movie called Blonde and the series called Blonde was about Marilyn Monroe. It was not starring Marilyn Monroe.
Thank you, Tom.
The show with Clark and Gable is called The Misfits from 1961. I just looked it up right there, and I proved you wrong. Smart ass.
You did.
Oh, you said the bad word.
Look,
that after 8 o'clock already.
Look,
You
I'm gonna
proved
wait.
nothing wrong.
I'm gonna say
Marilyn Monroe was in that movie.
Misfits, right? With Eli
you
Wallach.
said nothing about Misfits. You said it was called Blonde.
Blondes.
He
That's
called
what you
her
said.
blonde in that movie.
You're an idiot.
You said the name of it was.
You're wrong.
Don't
Mr.
change
Blake.
the
You
damn
didn't
story.
get it right.
You're a
And anybody home?
effing idiot.
Can I dance?
No, you were not right.
Can I
You were
dance?
completely wrong, and now I just turned off your mic.
You said blondes. That's what you said.
Most CDL
Yeah, that's
drivers
what
in
you said.
southeast New Mexico do not speak any English. Sand truck haulers are the worst and can only drive forward. And I'm being serious. Tell them to back up and see what happens. The mayor of Greenfield says, I know she is not the first lady, but Kristi Noem is the hottest woman to ever be in politics. I will agree with that. I don't think Kristi Noem is hotter than Melania, but I do want to say that Donald Trump knows what he's doing, putting all of these beautiful women in
Look,
front of the camera
let me
like
say
that.
this, Monica. I used to think Kristi Noem was really, really, really hot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I recently seen a close-up of her.
Right.
And she's got so much makeup
She
on.
does wear a lot of makeup. I
my
discovered that early
Lord.
on. Yeah, and some
Yeah,
guys
she's
just
got,
don't
like-
like that.
Yeah,
I
she's
don't
got
like that
way
at all.
You don't
too
like
much
that?
makeup.
Yeah.
Not at all.
And yeah,
Way
some
too
women
much.
just don't like that.
All right, two more.
Natural
two more.
look, natural
Get to
look.
two more.
I had an international driver's license in Algeria, and as soon as I got on the charter home, they took it from me, said Bosque County. Main Street in Lovington is a state highway. The city can't keep trucks off of it. This one says, let us truck drivers be.
Right. And this texter says, when Kane ran with Hillary, he ran for vice president without stepping down as a senator, says this
Okay.
one texter.
That makes sense.
So it's
That makes
it
a
has
lot of
happened
sense.
before. And pilots have to speak English worldwide, says this one texter. Wow.
They do. Yep, they do.
And Tom
Yeah.
don't know nothing about geography. Don't know how to get from Lovington to Roswell.
Thank God
and I
for that.
agree.
Keep him off the road.
There was one that I wanted to read from a girl on here named Christy. Let me find it. I don't know where it went. Did you already read it?
Yeah, I read it, but it wasn't appropriate. So,
Okay.
so I marked it.
Okay.
Yeah, I read it, but it wasn't from Christy.
Yeah.
But her name was Christy.
It wasn't appropriate.
Have y'all played
Sometimes
Tom's? Have y'all played Tom's song Periquito this
Yeah,
morning?
look, I'm still trying to figure out how this brain works. Yeah, I read it, but it wasn't from Christy, but it was from Christy. I have no idea.
Kevin, we got a
God
phone call.
almighty.
Why don't we take a phone call real
Let's
quick?
go to the phone call, and we'll come back and talk about the $70 million jet that is in big trouble.
Good morning. You're on Be in the
Morning,
Breakfast
how you
Club.
doing? Where are you calling from?
Patricia from West Odessa, but in Dallas.
Patricia.
Hi,
What's going on
Patricia.
today?
First time I ever heard her voice before.
Nope. The first time calling in, Tom.
How you doing?
Wrong again, Tom.
Fine, except for fighting traffic in Dallas.
I'm sorry. You need to take a lot of armor with you and some bullets and baseball bats.
Did you take
got
the
that
patience pill? Did you take the patience pill? No.
Nope.
You should have took some patience pills.
Yeah, I know.
What's on your mind this morning?
The CDL, I agree about you guys speak English and write it. When I was in the oil field delivering sand, I worked for one company. I won't say the name. 90% Cubans. I've never been in an orientation class that it was English for me and Spanish for everybody else.
Wow. Wow.
I will
So-
never go back to the oil field again. I hated
Well,
it.
things are
I love the money.
things are going to change.
Yeah, okay.
That's what they say. We'll see how that works.
I've never.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you, Patricia. Do you think they'll hire people even though the law changed and wait to get caught?
Probably, especially in the oil field.
Yeah. And are they hiring these individuals because they can pay them less?
Probably the oil field money sure has gone down.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. They would hire them because they could hire them for less money. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. But the last
Yep.
oil field company I worked for, I was getting a salary of $95,000.
Wow.
They changed it for load count, and I got
Mm.
tired of being micromanaged. I had to stop
Yeah.
and ask permission to go to the bathroom.
Oh, wow.
It's like, I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm 69 years old. I'm not going to ask permission go to the bathroom.
I hear
Wow.
you. I hear you. That's crazy. Hey, you be safe on the road.
All right, I'll be home Friday.
We'll see you
All
then.
right, we appreciate you. Have a good one. One more story, Blake, and then we'll get to Boob of the Day. $70 million Navy F-18 fighter jet fell into the Red Sea right off the Harry S. Truman.
It did.
Right off the sea. So they were launching strikes against the Houthi terrorist when it went overboard. How would that happen?
Well, they didn't have the wheel chocks in place, probably. I mean, it could be something that simple when they're on deck. But
Yeah, they said that they lost a fighter jet.
Yeah, there's been cases that kind of weird stuff happens, on an aircraft carrier. Things go off the side. This is not the first time.
Yeah. So the tow tractor, they lost the fighter jet and a tow tractor while operating in the vast waterway.
Okay.
So plane was actively under tow to the hangar bay when the crew lost control of the aircraft, and the jet and the tow went overboard, and it was lost in the Red Sea.
Wow.
That's a $70 million mistake. $70 million mistake.
Interesting. There's got to be more to it than that. Like something happened that caused that to happen.
That's all they're releasing at this point. I'm sure more details.
Well, and it's the military. There's going to be a lot of stuff there that they can't release the details about.
Sure. Yeah, no doubt. All right, 8:50, 10 minutes away from 9 o'clock. Boob of the Day being brought to you by Desert Functional Medicine and Aesthetics, medical professionals on staff ready to help you if your testosterone is very low. Maybe your estrogen is way high. Look, here's a couple tips. If you're gaining belly fat and also man boobs, that could be your estrogen is way, way too high and your testosterone is way too low. Let them do a deep dive into your blood work. And ladies, we understand about your hormones, but do you know women need testosterone also? So you could be having hormonal problems, and it all needs to be, optimized. They do hormonal optimization. They do a lot of aesthetics, and they would love to chat with you if you're living in pain. They offer natural remedies for pain, stem cell therapy, ozone therapy, and more. Give them a call, 575-964-8025, 3900 North Lovington Highway in Hobbs. Check them out today. Desert Functional Medicine Aesthetics, proud sponsor of the Boob of the Day.
Escaping from prison seems like a last-ditch effort to sniff freedom. Now, you wouldn't try it if you had a chance to be released anytime soon, right? Well, a guy named Lucas Brown was caught escaping from jail in Colorado last Thursday. He was only on the loose for 35 minutes. And here's the kicker. He was supposed to be released just 2 days later. Now that won't be happening. Lucas was working as a kitchen trustee and was cleaning up for the night. He went out to take out the trash and just ran off. Here's another twist. He was previously caught escaping back in 2017. So he shouldn't have qualified to be a trustee anyway, with outdoor access. He had the role for about a month, but didn't try to make a run for it till last week. Now, he was only serving a 90-day sentence, and there's no word how much extra time is being tacked on due to the escape attempt. But I think it depends on state to state, but most of them are like 5 to 10 years you get added on for escapes.
Wow.
And for that, trying to escape before you only had 2 days left in your sentence, you are the boob of the day.
Boob of the Day being brought to you by Desert Functional Medicine and Aesthetics. Check them out today. We got another Democrat that is retiring. We'll talk about him. This makes 2 Democrats that are retiring from Congress. We'll talk about that coming up in just a second. Quick check of the weather being brought to you by La Tienda Thriftway. Find them in Pecos, Texas, right there at 810 South Eddy. If you're new to Pecos, a lot of people coming in from other parts of the state to work in Pecos, and you're looking for a place to do your grocery shopping, La Tienda in Pecos, Texas, right at 810 South Eddy in Pecos. Build a Burger Better going on right now. They've got 73% lean ground beef on sale right now for $3.29 a pound. Pork chops, sirloin cut, $3.49 a pound. Chicken breast, boneless, skinless, $2.77 a pound, and get the choice boneless beef arm steak for $3.99 a pound. Produce department, the premium hothouse tomatoes are just $1.49 a pound. Also, Vidalia yellow onions, 99 cents a pound. Mangoes, 99 cents each. From the deli department, get white bread. Make that split top wheat bread for $1.68 a loaf. Also, get the Black Forest ham for $4.99 a pound. Chicken breast for $7.99 a pound. And if you're looking for refreshments, they've got you covered with all the refreshments. Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Big Red, and Sprite, $10.99. Get it today at La Tienda in Carlsbad. Quick check of the weather, talking about 87 the high today. Should be sunny. Overnight low tonight getting down to about 54, 50% chance of rain. Some of that could be severe tonight. In southeast New Mexico, sunny skies and 70 tomorrow. Red flag warning in effect. Windy day today, about 25 mile an hour wind, 66 in Ruidoso. And Albuquerque today, sunny skies and up to about 75. It's going to be a pretty decent day in Albuquerque today. Taking a break. We're coming right back. We're Beyond the Breakfast Club news this morning being brought to you by Twin Wells Fuel Station. If you're driving on 128, exit Buck Jackson Road, go down 2.75 miles and fill her up today. They accept credit cards, debit cards, and fleet cards. Just a reminder, be safe on the road from the Twin Wells Fuel Station. Coming right back, we're Beyond the Breakfast Club.
MTD Radio News, I'm Blake Ovard. On Saturday, Eddy County Fire and Rescue, along with Carlsbad Fire Department, jointly responded to multiple water rescue reports. The first victim was rescued from their truck as it swept along Black River Village Road shortly before 3 a.m. A second rescue, almost 2 hours later, took place near Higbee Hole Road shortly before 5 a.m. No injuries or deaths were reported. Officials said if road signs and traffic barrels are in place, it is to keep the public safe from those situations. As of the last check, the roads still remain closed in those areas and will be opened when considered safe. And measles cases in eastern New Mexico have risen to 66, according to the New Mexico Department of Health. 61 of those cases are in Lee County, with Eddy, Chavez, and Doña Ana counties also seeing cases. And 646 measles cases have been reported in the Texas outbreak. Gaines County remains the main outbreak area, totaling 393 cases. A former Doña Ana County judge and his wife, who are now in federal custody, are accused of assisting a suspected gang member, Christian Ortega Lopez, living in their home and hiding evidence. Joel Cano, now disbarred, and his wife Nancy were arrested by the Department of Homeland Security agents on Thursday at their home in Las Cruces. Nancy Cano maintained communication with Ortega Lopez and attempted to help him delete his Facebook account, which contained evidence relevant to his criminal case. Federal documents state one of the phones used by Ortega Lopez was still in the Cano home and may have contained further incriminating evidence, but police reported that Joel Cano admitted to destroying the device and disposing of the pieces. As a result, Cano is facing charges of tampering with evidence, while his wife is charged with conspiracy to tamper with evidence. The ultra-violent Tren de Aragua gang has been designated as a foreign terrorist organization by the U.S. government. And that's the way it is. I'm Blake Ovard. This is MTD Radio News.
Get ready, Hobbs. The Works Combat Academy presents Beatdown on Broadway Round 2. Join the Works Saturday, May 3rd in downtown Hobbs at 200 West Broadway for an action-packed free boxing event sanctioned by USA Boxing. First bell rings at 2:30 p.m., so BYOCC. Bring your own chairs and canopy and enjoy a full day of hard-hitting action. Food trucks will be on site, so come hungry. Special thanks to sponsors Merrill Lynch, Schlotzsky's, Divine Energy, and Bad Bass Barbecue. This ad is proudly paid for by the City of Hobbs Launders Tax. Don't miss it. Beatdown on Broadway is back and better than ever.
This is Davis Smith, the Guerrilla Lawyer, and I'm talking to you from my office on 3130 North Grimes in Hobbs, New Mexico. Our office has exploded with new clients. And do you know why? fast settlements, fantastic customer service, and man, we love paying our clients money. If you get injured in a car wreck, you come see the Gorilla. Remember, if you get injured, you get the Gorilla.
Visit 3130 North Grimes or call 575-964-2720. That's 964-2720.
It's time to strike gold, black gold, at the core. The Black Gold Pickleball Tournament is back and hitting the courts May 31st and June 1st. Sign up by May 25th, just $25 for the tournament, plus $10 for each additional event. Core members get a $5 discount, and kids 13 to 17 can compete with parental consent. Dig in now at CoreHobs.com and strike it rich at the Black Gold Pickleball Tournament at the Core May 31st and June 1st. Extract a win on the courts from the Core in your city of Hobbs.
Working inside or outside, there's something for everyone at the Working Guys store. If you need FR, the Working Guys store is packed with everyday low prices on FR jeans and shirts. If you don't need FR, we have fresh new spring arrivals on non-FR jeans and shirts. And we have new Yeti coolers in all the latest colors. Why pay more? Shop the Working Guys store. Open 7 days a week at 109 East Broadway.
If you, your business, or your organization is needing a venue or facility to host a meeting, convention, party, or other special event, don't cram everyone into your tiny little office. Call the Lee County Event Center. You don't have to fill up the main floor. The Event Center has many other smaller rooms that are perfect for meetings, seminars, parties, and other special events. The Lee County Event Center, seating for 25 or 2,500, 5101 North Lovington Highway in Hobbs. Call 575-391-2100 or visit LeeCountyEvents.com.
This week at Bob's Ridgeway, along with hundreds of big value weekly specials, they've got everything to help you build a better burger with fresh lean ground beef, $2.99 a pound. Leaf lettuce, 99 cents a head. Get Vidalia onions, 99 cents a pound. And your premium hothouse tomatoes, $1.49 a pound. Tender crust jumbo buns, the 8-pack, $1.78. American Craft singles, the 16-ounce, $4.48. Get your Kraft mayo, big 30-ounce jar, just $4.98. And get the AF brand hamburger patties, 4-pound box for just $8.88. Of course, you got to have some bacon on that burger. Oscar Mayer smoked bacon, big 1-pound pack, just $6.98. There's everything to build a better burger and hundreds of big value specials where your grocery dollar always goes farther and the service and quality still matters. Bob's Ridgeway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Be in the Breakfast Club being powered by Permian Ford and PermianFord.com. Back to Be in the Breakfast Club.
When I'm driving, I got a guy on the radio who talks to me. I can't see him, but he talks to me.
The personalities bring it home to me, and I just love it.
Another day, another 55-cent B and the Breakfast Club. Blake, you still have hair. Tom, you still have hair, right?
Yeah.
So how much do you guys pay for haircuts? See, I mean, that's a question because I don't have hair.
$25.
$25. Blake?
I haven't been to the barber in a long time, so I don't know.
So my son is telling me that he pays $60 for a haircut.
Oh,
$60.
Well, he probably
So-
goes to some fancy girly salon.
I don't know.
Does he get a massage with that?
I think Tom was pretty spot on. About $25 is probably about right. Plus, you got a
Yeah,
tip.
they do the razor cut and so $60.
Yeah.
So I take him to the barber shop.
Well, it may end
on
up being
Saturday.
close to that by the time you do tip or if you get anything
Yeah,
extra or
maybe.
anything.
And maybe that's what he was saying. $2.
$2.
Got the same haircut. $2. $2.
Now you got him wanting to move to the Philippines, don't you?
No.
He's too materialistic.
Yeah, too bad. No. Looks like I live a very, very simple life. Very simple. Don't do the processed food every day and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No. Looks like Australian family is in disbelief after a stranger snuck onto their home and half a dozen times and used their swimming pool without their permission. I say this guy went off the deep end. He really did.
Oh.
By the way, they caught him on the video cameras.
That's
just going swimming.
Wow.
Just sneaking into their pool and going swimming. Look, you would expect that of a teenager, not a grown man. That's kind of crazy.
Was he singing?
Tom, what do you think should happen to the Atlanta Falcon defensive coordinator?
It was
the guy that son did the crank call.
Nothing
What do you think should
about
happen?
nothing, man. This is a prank that the kid wanted to do on somebody else.
So
Nothing
you
should-
look? I see people calling for blood. I'm seeing
No.
people saying that he should be fired.
And Sanders ain't.
Well, those are leftists or Sanders worshipers.
No, it's more the Sanders worshipers.
And he lied, and he laughed
So-
about it too. So whatever. He's got bigger
Well,
problems.
he's also taken down his social media account.
Yeah,
Look, he's not the first and he's not the last
Right.
that had this pulled on him. There's other players, but you just don't hear about them because they're not crying about it.
He is kind of a crybaby.
That's part of it.
We do have our Rig Outfitters question that we need to read.
Oh,
Yeah, let's do Rig Outfitters. We got one more break, and then we'll come back with the good news of the day.
All right.
Go ahead, Monica.
Which superhero did everyone say was their favorite? You do have to give all of our answers. If you were listening early in the show yesterday, then you've got all the answers on your marks. I'll take the first one that gets all of them
First?
correct.
Well,
all right.
We're doing first.
Go.
All right, Blake, if you could cue up cut number 8, Tom Holman registration, because it's kind of important. We'll go to that in just a second. Tom, while Monica's taking care of the text, if you could read some text, that would be great.
All right. Robbie Landry says, B, $2 for a haircut. That's $1 per hair for you. The text
For
says,
me, yeah, I did. I got my beard edged up. That was 50 cents. 50 pesos, $1.
This texter says $35 for a haircut and beard.
Oh, okay. See,
Another one
25,
says
35.
$50 is normal for a fade haircut. Says this one texter.
There you go.
Why
Are you constipated?
Yeah, I had to get it out. And Anna Paulina Luna is the best looking senator ever.
She's
says Eddie
cute.
D.
Yeah. Yeah. She's a hottie, no doubt.
All right. Also, Junior,
There are several, if you start looking at the halls of Congress, there are several rather attractive people there.
They're lovely.
I still say that Marjorie Taylor Greene is very attractive.
Well, and, not only are there attractive women in the halls of Congress right now, but there are also attractive guys for those who are attracted to guys.
Junior Munoz says, I've been trucking for about 27 years, and I'm very happy to hear that you will need to be able to speak English to drive, he goes on to say. Yeah.
But I
Wait,
have a
Junior, your
feeling-
last name is Munoz. You're not supposed to think that way, according to people.
No, only according to those on the left and Tom.
But he
Yeah.
went on to
No doubt.
say, I have a feeling that they will find a way to bypass that
Always.
law. Smokey in Arizona says, when a woman wears a lot of makeup, I consider that false advertising. says Smokey in
Amen.
Arizona. I agree. Sometimes it's
Tom, if a woman wears a push-up bra, would that be considered false advertising?
Sure. But you know what happened yesterday? I was eating out. And thank God for women. They were listening to the show. Finally got one that had a baby who was feeding her baby with a baby
Eaten
bottle.
out.
I was happy to say. I told her that. Man, I appreciate you feeding your baby with a baby bottle.
I appreciate
I
you not
appreciate
feeding
you.
your baby with
You
what nature
seriously said
intended
that.
you to feed your
Yes.
baby with.
you seriously did that.
And she said, well, I wouldn't feed my baby in public like that. Well, I appreciate that, told her.
I think that's a completely made up story.
You totally made that
I,
up.
I
story?
believe it's
No,
also
that's-
made up.
That's a made up story.
That's a
story.
completely made up. I'm not buying that. None of it. Not one of it.
Very nice lady.
All right, Monica, continue.
Okay, Clint from the Patch got it correct. He says Tom said himself he was his favorite superhero. Monica said Spider-Man. Kevin said Batman. And Blake said Tug is Bull Terrier and Daredevil. You are correct,
Ding,
Clint.
ding.
Congratulations. You won.
Yeah, man. Way to remember all of that. That's pretty crazy. All right, Blake. Let's
I had
go
to give him the bell.
cut. Yeah, give him the bell. Cut number 8. Tom Holman's talking about something that's very, very important. And let me just say, if you're in the country illegally, this is not anything new. If you're in the country, most countries, you have to let them know that you move. They want to know exactly where they can locate you. My son just did the papers to come to the Philippines, and part of the immigration papers that you put in is what is going to be your home base while you're visiting the Philippines. So it's not unusual for that to happen. He's filling out the same papers when he goes to Tokyo. Listen what Tom Holman had to say about registration. If you're not in the country legally, they want to know where you're located so they can register you. Go ahead, cut number 8, Blake.
You're illegal alien in the United States. This message is for you. You cannot hide from ICE. We're actively looking for you. Federal law requires every alien in the United States who has been present in the United States more than 30 days needs to register. For those 14 years or older, you need to be fingerprinted with the Department of Homeland Security. Federal law requires every alien in the United States to tell DHS in writing if you have a change in address within 10 days of changing that address. Failing to register with DHS and failing to tell DHS about your new address are criminal offenses, and they're going to be treated as such. Starting today. Make no mistake, if you're in the country illegally and you fail to do what the law requires, we will prosecute you, you will go to jail, then we'll deport you.
You know, part of the problem is we've been so lax with things, it's hard to bring any type of discipline. It's like when you let a kid do whatever the hell they want and then you decide to discipline them. It's very, very tough to decide to discipline them at this late stage in the game. But the law is the law. So if you don't register, you're breaking another law and they will deport you, is what he said. So keep that in mind. Cut number 6, Michelle Obama talking on her podcast. And I hate to say this, sometimes even professional African Americans have a defeatist attitude. I hate to say that. A defeatist attitude that they're beat before they even start the game. This lady was the first lady of the United States of America. Her brother, who was on that podcast, was the coach at Georgetown. It's not like they didn't succeed. They did quite well for themselves. The Robinson family was very well known, even before Michelle Obama or Robinson took the job at Georgia. Listen to what she had to say on the podcast.
We couldn't walk around saying valedictorian, straight A student, speaks excellent, has excellent diction if you give them a chance. Mm-hmm. You know, we knew very early on that no one was going to see beyond the color of our skin at an early age. And that could get you in trouble.
I'm just going to be honest with you. I grew up with he's dead now. He's passed. His name was John Moore. John Moore worked for me at the radio station, had great diction and very, very smart, ended up going in the Air Force and died in Dallas, had a heart attack on the side of the interstate. Got stressed out driving and had a heart attack on the side of the interstate. But he was African American. Mm-hmm. And great diction, straight A student. And you know who picked on him and gave him hell?
Rednecks that barely pass. Oh, okay.
No, African Americans, because they said he was trying to be white.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
He couldn't win that battle one way or another. So
because
I grew up.
Because you mastered a language, you're trying to be another race?
That's awful.
Because you're good in school, you were trying to be another race? that's
Monica. Have you ever been told you're trying to be
Oh.
white?
Oh yeah, whenever I was growing up, I went to an elementary school where there were not a lot of Hispanics. There were like a handful of Hispanics, and so I didn't talk like I came from a Hispanic home. I talked
right.
proper English, or
Sure.
I didn't have the, I guess you could say, accent. So when I would go around my cousins who did have the accent, they would always call me a wannabe white girl. They would tell me that I was a coconut and I was brown on the outside, white
Yeah,
on the inside. Oh,
my
I've
kids
heard
heard
it all.
the same
To this
stuff.
day.
Yeah.
To this day, I still
So
hear it.
it's because those people can't do something or won't do something. They pick on someone else who's
Correct.
trying to better themselves.
Yes.
So I'm not buying with Michelle. I grew up in that era. And I'm just going to say it.
I don't remember.
Race relations were better then than they are now.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
I'm talking about in the 70s,
Yes.
the 80s. Race relations were better than they are now.
Yes.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Our group
One more
of
cut.
friends now, you got to remember, I'm a little younger than you, but still, I mean, I graduated high school in the mid 80s. And our group of friends was every shape, size, and color. That was the group of friends.
Yeah.
And nobody thought anything about anybody else because of those things. They were just our friends.
Right.
It wasn't that's the white friend or that's the black friend or that's the Hispanic friend. It's we were all just friends.
Yep. You know, I from kindergarten to 6th grade, my best friend was Norbert Mediz. And I used to share a honey bun with Norbert. And I didn't know he was black until my grandfather told me he was black. I just thought he was Norbert. He's my friend.
Right.
See, sometimes adults can try to plant seeds in kids. My grandfather didn't do it in a way that was, racist or anything. He just said, you got something about Norbert's family but I never knew he was black. I mean, I guess I knew he was black, but I didn't damn care if he was black.
Right.
Why would I?
Right. That never
I'd share
really
a honey
crossed your
bun
mind.
with him.
That's your friend.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my bud. And he's dead also. He was a cop and got hooked on drugs. He did undercover work, got hooked on drugs and died. Cut number 10, The View, talking about the savior of the Democratic Party, J.T. Pritzker. He is the governor of Illinois. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't want a president from Illinois. I've lived there.
No.
It is one of the most corrupt places I've ever lived. And yes, I lived in New Mexico for 15 plus years. Cut number 10, if you would. Blake, they're talking about J.D. Pritzker.
Until they get clear on their message where everyone can spell out this is what they ran on and they have clear messaging, I don't think we're going to see
And I
victories
think
in
that's what we're seeing from J.B. Pritzker. We're seeing clear messaging. We're seeing optimism. We're seeing a willingness to fight. And it's not just obstructing. He is pulling every lever he's got as the governor of Illinois to fight back against Trump. He's fighting back on the tariffs. He's fighting back on the abuses of power on immigration. He's suing the government, the
Governors
Trump
have that,
administration.
just to clarify, I mean the D.C.
Right,
Democrats.
but what I'm saying is J.B. Pritzker is not only talking the talk, he is walking the walk.
That man can't walk 10 feet.
Yeah, I mean, dude is like out of breath walking 10 feet. Kind of sounds like Tom.
I'm telling you, if he would make Tom look like an anorexic.
Yeah, he would. Looks like Democrat Jerry Connolly is retiring from Congress, health reasons. This guy has got to be close to 80. I was trying to skim the story to see if it gave how old. He's got to be close to 80. So he's a Democrat from Virginia. Monday decided that he would not seek re-election, stepping down as the leading Democrat on the House Oversight Committee. So he's got cancer. So his cancer, he was diagnosed 6 months ago, and looks like he was doing better, and then looks like it's come back. So he is stepping down. That's the second Democrat to step away. All right, we're going to take a break. We got to get you updated with news. We're coming back. Good news of the day in just a second. We'll get to that. News this morning being brought to you by Fusion Medical Spa, featuring vitamin C this month. Yeah, the month of April is vitamin C, and they're offering specials like 25% off all vitamin C procedures and products. Did you know vitamin C is great for skin and also energy issues? Nothing's better than vitamin C. And so this month, they're giving 25% off the IV treatments that are vitamin C, 25% off their supplements, and 25% off the treatment for your skin with vitamin C. Plus the Diamond Glow vitamin C treatment, they offer those for $100, regular price $185. And if you're living in pain, just remember that they do offer stem cell therapy using your own white blood cells to heal your body. Give them a call, 575-2574-SPA, or in the river crossing in Ruidoso. Coming right back, we're Beyond the Breakfast Club.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Trump celebrates his 100th day back in office with a rally tonight in Warren, Michigan. On the economy, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the president's creating what he calls strategic uncertainty, negotiating better trade deals.
What we are doing is we've created a process. I think the aperture of uncertainty will be narrowing. And as we start moving forward, announcing deals, then there will be certainty.
Partial tariff relief for American automakers is being announced today. There's a widespread severe weather threat.
Another round of strong to severe thunderstorms will be possible, containing large hail, damaging winds, heavy rain with isolated tornadoes from Texas to the interior Northeast and Ohio Valley as a cold front pushes eastward. Flash flooding is also a concern over sections of the south central U.S.
Fox senior meteorologist Janice Dean. America's listening to Fox News.
Coffee Drilling LLC. They offer a wide range of drilling services, from small domestic water to agricultural and monitor wells. In addition to mud and rotary drilling, Coffee Drilling offers services to pre-existing wells, as well as troubleshooting of pumps and all control systems. Call Coffee Drilling today to schedule your routine maintenance or see about an upgrade to your water system. Call 505-270-1767. That's 505-270-1767. Coffee Drilling LLC. Over 20 years experience and serving all of Hobbs, Lovington, and Eunice.
In need of a tow? Those don't have to be dirty words. At Lee County Roadside, they have been offering friendly and knowledgeable service for 20 years. From light to heavy duty, there's nothing they can't tow. And with 24-hour availability, there's no time they can't tow it. Don't make a bad day worse by choosing the wrong tow company. Lee County Roadside, the good guys to call in a bad situation. For 24-hour service, call 575-392-3223 or locate them at 7401 North Del Paso, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Like Lee County Roadside on Facebook and follow them on Instagram.
This is Rhonda Romack of Destiny Real Estate, where our business is built on dreams and imagination. Right now, the Lincoln County real estate market has more buyers than sellers. What does that mean? It means that the local market of inventory of houses and ranches is low, but we have plenty of buyers ready and willing to purchase properties. So if you've been considering putting something on the market, it's a good time to get top dollar for your investment. Telephone my team of seasoned professionals at 575-257-3000. That's Rhonda Romack of Destiny Real Estate, online at ruidoso-nm.com.
Working inside or outside, there's something for everyone at the Working Guys store. If you need FR, the Working Guys store is packed with everyday low prices on FR jeans and shirts. If you don't need FR, we have fresh new spring arrivals on non-FR jeans and shirts. And we have new Yeti coolers in all the latest colors. Why pay more? Shop the Working Guys store. Open 7 days a week at 109 East Broadway.
At Franklin Veterinary Clinic, they're a full-service clinic that offers comprehensive care for family pets, equine athletes, and livestock alike. They have multiple veterinarians on staff providing the best possible care for your animals at every stage of their life. And when emergencies arise, they offer 24-hour ambulatory services and after-hour emergency care. The new emergency number is 575-808-7725. Franklin Veterinary Clinic, a tradition and excellence in caring, proudly serving Lincoln, Chavez, and Otero counties.
Old Jack's, Lovington's hometown drive-in, offering everything you need to heat up and cool down. From your favorite poncho burger to the best banana split around, they're even serving up some new desserts. This week's specials are the Taco Burger, the Goat Drink, and the Sparky Red Bull. You can find their daily and weekly food and drink specials posted on Facebook. Old Jack's, 321 West Avenue D in Lovington, or call ahead at 575-396-5328.
The Republican Party of Eddy County is holding their second annual Freedom to Shoot Sporting Clay fundraiser, May 17th at ATC Shooting Range in Carlsbad. Register by May 1st. All paid entries include breakfast, lunch, clays, and ammo. For more information on teams, fees, and prizes, go to eddy.gop.org. Thanks to the title sponsor, Strata Production Company. Sponsorships are still available, so don't be shy. Support the Second Amendment. Keep fighting for it and exercise it while you've still got it.
New year, new ride, New Mexico. Ready to kick off 2025 with a car that looks brand new? Mighty Wash has just the thing for you. Start fresh with our Express Interior package for just $60. This includes a full interior wipe down, tire shine, windows cleaned inside and out, door jambs detailed, vacuuming of all rows, and a free Wonder Clean wash with complete hand dry. Want the works? Treat your car to our complete detail package. It's got everything in the Express Interior plus seat and carpet shampoo, wheel and tire cleaning, and a premium wax. And it comes with our top-tier Mighty Protector wash for the ultimate shine. Don't let your car roll into 2025 stuck in the past. Refresh your ride with Mighty Wash. Clean car, fresh start, New Mexico. Let's make this year your car's best year yet.
Be in the Breakfast Club, powered by Permian Ford and PermianFord.com. Home of the lifetime Permian powertrain promise.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Oh!
Albert Einstein once said two things are infinite, the universe and Tom A's stupidity. Let's get on with it. Call 877-396-W105.
You know, the party of common sense. See, we're the party of common sense. You're not, in all fairness.
Yes, sir.
We like water to put out fires. It's really quite efficient.
Be and the Breakfast Club. Call or text now, 877-396-W105 to talk to us.
Put together a pretty solid act in very little time.
Hey, Monica, we're going to you for the text so you can do them quickly. Good news coming up next. Be in the Breakfast Club.
A PBS show on Holocaust in Amsterdam where Jews thought that they were safe. A Jew registration system was set up with a picture and fingerprint. Plus, that yellow star, which was worn on clothing. When the Nazi expansion was coming, it was ordered to pick up those Jews that were shipped to concentration camps. 75% of the Jews were eliminated in Amsterdam. I don't know what conversation that one was referring to.
I don't either.
So you're talking about people registering that foreigners shouldn't register?
Well, you know, Nike just made fun of all of those people who died in the Holocaust at the London Marathon with a giant billboard. So...
Trucker Ben says, I get disgusted when I hear a politician speaking, and it depends on what too. The makeup of the crowd, if it's a white accent or a different accent. They want to talk with the crowd, and I find that to be a very fake person. Who does that, says Trucker Ben.
Huh.
Well, the majority of the females in politics have been doing that.
On the left.
Yeah. Julian Gomez says, Monica, did you go to elementary school at F.J. Young in Seminole? I did not. I went to Sanger Elementary in Hobbs, New Mexico. Toby from Hagerman says, racism was almost dead until Obama got elected. Facts.
Amen.
And John from Eunice said, guys, that couldn't be more correct. That's the reason they start breaking out the word Uncle Tom. If you were to try to educate yourself as a black person, it's like black on black crime. If they try to educate themselves, they turn into an Uncle Tom, and that's just another point that they will deny. But Michelle will never admit that. And good morning, Monica. I still to this day will bare knuckle fist fight family members who talk like that to myself or to mine. I've burned bridges, but never lost a fight because they eventually come back asking for forgiveness and help, all because they say stuff like that. It's true. I feel like Hispanics are the worst to each other. I mean, the African-American community is also like that with each other, but they feel like once.
Well, I mean, just look at African American that marries a white woman.
Correct.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so sad, and it's racist on top of that. Let people love who they want to love.
And it's worse if it's a black woman and a white man.
Yeah.
because then there's all these other things that they throw accusations at.
I mean, just let people love who they love.
Amen.
That's it.
Amen.
That's it.
Love is
All right,
love.
let's get to that's it. Let's get to good news of the day this morning, being brought to you by Herschel Rustin Hayes, Avenue D in Lovington, 575-396-0513. Home, auto, life insurance, commercial insurance. Get in touch with Herschel Rustin Hayes right across the street from Bob's in Lovington.
So a mailman in Michigan is going viral for returning a $10 bill that he found in the homeowner's driveway. Rather than just putting it in his pocket, he rang the doorbell, but no one was home. So he left it along with a note in their mailbox. Now the homeowner caught the good deed on the doorbell ring camera and posted it online. People recognized the mailman as Joshua O'Hara, and he said, quote, "Being kind to others doesn't cost a thing. You never know who needs it, and one good deed can have a ripple effect." And a woman named Danielle's Bittersweet on TikTok is going viral because it shows her painting her cousin Amanda's nails the day before she was taking off of life support. Danielle said it was just her way of trying to bring comfort and normalcy to her cousin on her final days. 3 teens in India invented a salt-powered refrigerator that doesn't need electricity. It can be used to help transport vaccines and medical supplies to rural areas. They won the 2025 Earth Prize of $12,500 and plan to test 200 units in 120 hospitals. Are you back with us now, Tom?
Always been with you.
That snoring sound you heard. And the good news was Tom, and that is the good news of the day. And thankfully, Monica has it all on video.
All right, let's get updated with the news. Post that up, Monica. It's stuff like
Yes.
that makes people happy.
Put
Post
it on W105. And send it to Kevin so he can put it on Be in the Breakfast Club.
Yeah. Send it to me. I'd love to put it on. All right, news this morning being brought to you by Roach Air Conditioning. Again, heating, your choice for your next HVAC job. They've got the experience to take care of your air conditioner. Look, if yours is completely blown, look, these guys can resurrect an air condition. They can. But if it's completely shot, they offer financing. They also offer the brand new heater, make that inverter-driven heat pumps that are really an upgrade from the old units. 575-631-1999. Call Enrique Rocha today. I'll see you guys back Thursday. I'll be back in the home studio as the traveling trip will come to an end Thursday, Friday in the studio. But God bless America. We'll see you again then. Blake's in charge from here on. Tom, go back to sleep.
Yeah.